the return is here. College Kings is back for another week. Nate Dogg is here. And of course, CDM. How we doing, brother?
What is good, everybody? Always a pleasure being back on the greatest podcast that I've ever been a part of. Love it.
Hey, couldn't have said it any better myself there.
It's the best. It's best thing on Mondays.
Yeah.
You get Monday Night Football, and you get College Kings on Mondays. What more could you ask for?
Can't ask for much more, bro. Cannot.
Exactly. But we had a bunch. I mean, it wasn't the most exciting week for college football, but there were some upsets. There were some gritty games for sure, but we'll get into those in a minute. We actually have some other news to catch up on.
Yes, we got a lot, man. I mean, you can see right down here. Right down here. We got
in our new little bar right here.
Got a little new bar, kind of showing what we might be talking about. Also, where you can follow us, so you don't have to listen to the end to find out. Even though we suggest you to listen to the end.
Listen to the end.
Yeah, we got a little bit of extra elements we're going to test out. Some probably will not go right. This is how it works out. But we're going to test some extra things out with this pod and show y'all some videos and some sound bites and just kind of go over the whole slate. There were some headlines that caught some people's eyes that we'll kind of go over. Some coaches talking about their wins, their losses. So some teams gone, some teams dead, some teams are still alive even without their best player. So we'll talk about that, and of course we will recap last week's games in college football as always. A lot of big games there, a lot of big moments. And then we'll hit our mid-stretch, our seventh inning stretch, if you want to go MLB with the World Series on as well currently.
Oh, yeah, that is on right now.
Yep.
Let's go Diamondbacks.
I'm hoping, man. But, we'll talk about our top 6 teams as always and give our Heisman Watch as that's kind of leveling out. There's kind of 3 guys.
I'm pretty after the next coming up weeks, it's going to have to be a solidified who's going to be that top 5 for sure. But we'll get into that for sure. Mm-hmm. Start us off with those headlines, brother. What we got?
Oh yeah, man. Hey, a lot of good things to talk about here. We're going to get right into one of the biggest controversies, in all of sports technically, but football, it's been a lot of noise in college football and NFL when it comes to refs and certain calls. Once again, we see a certain call being called in college football that has, are the consequences too harsh? Even if you go to replay and you get this one and they check it and they say it's still targeting, what are we doing? Like, what are we? So
officiating has been very, very iffy these past few weeks in both college and NFL.
Yes.
But the play that you're talking about, we're about to roll the clip. It's just like not the best call. I mean, let the boys play, man. You got to let the boys play.
So yes, once again, if you all want to see this, go to the YouTube and watch the video version. For people that are listening, we'll give you all the best commentary we can give here. So we'll give y'all run the clip here of the targeting. Boom, boom,
boom, baby. Lower the shoulder.
Look at that. Shiloh Sanders laying the wood, looking pretty clean to me. Right here,
I mean,
you could see the crown of the helmet. You see the crown of the helmet hit the face mask, but that's it. And the thing for me is he's not going head hunting. He's just
no.
It's just a big hit, man, to the chest. And
it's a college football. I mean, it's a football hit, man. I mean, yeah. Yes, the helmet did hit the face mask, but if you look at it, he is leading with the shoulder to the shoulder pad.
Yes.
I mean, targeting is leading with the crown of the helmet to the head or neck area. And I mean, you can't classify the shoulder as the head or neck area, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Especially if 2 shoulder pads connect. That's just a boomstick right there, dude. I mean, that's prime time. I mean, that's prime time junior right there laying the boom. And you just can't. You got to let the boys play. So I don't really agree with that being a targeting call per se. I mean, honestly, it shouldn't have been even a penalty at all. I think he should have been. I mean, it's a big boy play. I mean, get up and run the next play. But I know you're trying to keep players safe. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, it's football. Yep. You got to let them play football. And Shiloh came out on Instagram or on social media and was saying, bring back old school football. And I agree with him. I mean, yes, keep the players safe, but don't take away the excitement and the fun of the sport when it comes to big hits like that. I mean, we've seen big hits through our years of watching football. I've seen players get smacked on kickoff returns and no penalties. But, I mean, a hit like that, that's just a great play by a great football player right there.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of said it best. Even if you think it's a targeting, if that's what you want to call it, if that's a textbook, if they go to review, they say that's a targeting, all right, cool. The point for me now is why are we throwing out these players when the NFL doesn't even throw out a player for head-to-head contact?
Exactly.
And yeah, I get it. They fine them like crazy after the game. And can you do that in college football? Maybe it's possible now with the NIL deals, but not everybody's getting all that bread.
I mean, you could.
In college.
You totally could find them.
Yeah,
I mean,
but Shiloh Sanders easily. You could find a guy with that much NIL money, but are you going to find the second string middle linebacker for La Tech? You can't do that because he doesn't. Yeah, no. He's not getting the NIL deal. So it's a game to play. I don't understand. I don't know how you fix it. I don't love the whole to throw a player out of the game for the targeting. You got
immediately. It was like that. Snap the finger. I mean, they automatically just said, "Hey, that's targeting. Let's get him out of there."
Yeah.
It wasn't targeting. It was a clean hit. And I mean, I understand the game's kind of getting soft when it comes to getting with big hits like that. Once again, player safety is the biggest concern for both college, NFL, high school. Everything about the sport is about the safety of the player. Yep. But I mean, if you're making a play, I mean, that's a football play. I mean, are you gonna throw somebody out because they hit the quarterback and they go down? I mean, I saw this play this past Sunday, and a player got penalized for roughing the passer because he took the quarterback down, hit him right in the rib cage, nowhere near the upper body at all, hit him right in the abdomen, took him down and fell, and they threw a flag on him and called it roughing the passer. Do you want these players, these 300-pound linemen, to stop in midair?
Yeah.
When you wrap somebody up? What's the point of teaching tackling in OTAs or training camps or anything? Like, I mean, what are we doing? You might as well just turn the game into a two-hand touch or flag football sort of deal. Yep. Play the game. If you see a 300-pound lineman fall, I mean, it's a fall, dude. Now, if you see somebody just dive on the quarterback when he's on the ground, obviously, yes, unnecessary roughness, roughing the passer, or going below the waist is roughing the passer. Hitting him in the abdomen, that's a clean hit, man. Yep. I mean, you cannot tell me that should not be a penalty at all. And officiating it's been iffy these past couple of weeks, as I said before, in both leagues. I mean, it's been terrible. I mean, it's kind of just taking the fun out. It's taken the fun out of football a little bit more. Mm-hmm. Once again, player safety is a big thing, but I want to see. I miss the excitement. I miss the explosions. I mean, when Ed Reed, Troy Polamalu, all those boys out there back in the day laying the boomstick, getting paid millions to lay the boomstick. Now these days you can't do it. If you touch the quarterback on the shoulder pad after the play, you're getting fined $50K and get probably tossed out of the game.
Yep.
So I mean, officiating has to be better. Clean hit, in my opinion. That's all I can really say about that one right there.
Yeah, I mean, even recently I saw on the Pat McAfee show of the Harrison Smith for the Vikings talking about how he has had to change his entire MO. You know, he used to be the he was the hitman. They call him the hitman. And he had to change his whole MO, not even MO. He's still a hard hitter, but he had to change his style of football because he doesn't want to. If he knows if he lays the wood on this player, he's going to be getting that fine in the mail the next day, and he doesn't want it.
Yeah.
Who wants to be paying fines? I know some of that's nothing to them,
I mean, Tyreek Hill scored a touchdown on Sunday against the Patriots. Fins up, by the way. And he didn't celebrate. And the reporter was like, why didn't you celebrate on that? He's like, I'm sick and tired of getting fined. Yeah. I'm sick and tired of getting fined $42, $50K because I want to do a celebration. Yeah. It's fun. Stephon. Okay, so first off, Stephon Diggs did not get penalized when he cracked open 2 beers on the sideline.
He didn't get, but he did get fined. They did fine him.
Oh, he did? Oh, they did fine him? Okay, I retract that statement. Sorry. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's stuff like that. I mean, penalizing players for getting a phone and doing a backflip for for the snap or for the story or just stuff like that. I mean, you're making players change, as you said, you're making players change their way they play the game their entire lives, and it's ridiculous.
It is, because I don't get it. I understand the whole safety thing, but this sport is always trying to find new people, new audiences. The whole Taylor Swift thing, however you felt about it, it was good for the sport. This whole thing about getting rid of the fun in football, it's why? Wouldn't you think that would bring more people in, bring in more money, instead of fining and penalizing all these players and kids in college that are just out there having fun? I don't get it. I don't understand it. When it comes back to this targeting, man, whatever. If you think it's targeting, all right. I don't agree with ejecting, especially in college, these youngsters that are still learning
Oh yeah,
football.
no, dude. I mean, let them play the game, man. I mean, they'll have to worry about that when they get into the league for sure. But right now, I mean, if I see a hit like that, I'm keeping the flag in the pocket. I'm not even touching it because that's a clean hit. He just laid the boom.
Call hit.
Like
hit stick, baby. Come on.
Oh, I mean, just laid him out.
Nah.
Now, like, if you want to penalize him for the celebration, yeah, I understand that. But I mean, for the hit, no way.
Flex on him.
I mean, Dion came out and said that Shiloh is basically prime time. Like, I mean, there's a difference between both the kids. Shador is like Dion. Shiloh is prime time.
Okay.
So, I mean, you just got to, let the boys play. Let the boys play the game, what they've always been coached to do.
Yeah, 100% agree. We could talk about targeting all day. Let's keep this thing rolling, though. We had a coach talking smack about another coach. And then he returns the favor in the post-game interview. Pre-game, Dan Mullen had some choice words about Kirby Smart. And Kirby Smart, he had to respond.
Flat back.
Hey, they talked about how he's going to lose. Kirby said, what the hell's going on? We're still winning. We haven't lost in like 2 years. So this is what Kirby Smart had to say about Dan Mullens picking the Florida Gators, I think, in their game this Saturday.
And I don't see it or hear it, but I know it's out there. Somebody texted me before the game. It's like all these people predicting that we're not going to, we're not going to win today. And I'm just like, golly, where's that coming from? It's supposed to be my friend. He didn't like to recruit though, so that's all that gets it.
Let's take two more questions.
And I
cooked him.
Kirby with the clap back.
I love that from Kirby. Cannot cap.
Hey, man, I don't like Georgia, but I respect Kirby Smart as a coach because he came from Alabama. Dan Mullens has no reason to be talking.
No.
Dan Mullens, so if you look at it, Dan Mullens has beat Kirby Smart one time since he was the head coach at Florida. I think so. I think he's only beat him one time, and it was when Florida had, the stacked team with Trask, Pitts, Tony, had that team. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, for him to come out and say that kind of shows, like, some character around Dan Mullens. I mean, I understand, there's a rivalry between those two historic teams and what they come from. But at the end of the day, I mean, you have to respect what Kirby's done for the game for sure.
Yep. I
mean, he hasn't lost a game. He's two-time national championship coach. Dan Mullens is Dan Mullens. Like, I mean, what has Dan Mullens done? He didn't win anything at Mississippi State. He was the AP coach. They were number one in the AP for like 1 week, 2 weeks when he was the Mississippi State head coach. Came to Florida, didn't do anything at Florida. Went to an SEC championship, lost.
Couldn't recruit.
Lost to LSU. I mean, you can't. I mean, if I'm you, shut your trap, man. I mean, let Kirby do what he has to do. And Kirby snapped back. It wasn't disrespectful. It was funny. It was playful. But, I mean, at the end of the day, let Kirby do what he needs to do. And that's continue to win games, continue to show dominance for sure.
Yeah, I love it. I love the smack talk back and forth. Listen, brother. I'm a natty champ. You couldn't even recruit in Florida, one of the biggest high school, hot spots in the country. Chill out. I was taking all your recruits. I know you're mad. It's okay. I love this. I love this heel move from Kirby Smart. Just a little context here. Dan Mullens' coaching record, 103-61. Hey, winning record.
It's not bad.
Not bad. Kirby Smart, 89-15.
I mean, come on now. Let's be completely honest right here. I mean, Dan Mullens, yes, Kirby Smart at the time was, during that time when Dan Mullens was winning, he was on Alabama's coaching staff, but also was one of the greatest defensive coordinators to play the game. And he carried that over, and I promise you, Kirby did not disappoint when he got to Georgia. Yeah, there were some ups and downs, but he finally got the pieces together and started clicking. Once again, I don't have to like Georgia, but I respect Kirby and what he's doing for the game. Dan Mullens, on the other hand, as you said, Kirby's stealing all of his recruits. He couldn't really recruit in Florida, and Florida is known for having outstanding recruits in high school.
Yes.
And Kirby's over here. Kirby's a state away, pickpocketing out of his back pocket, taking his players. I mean, now in transfer portal, he's just taking everybody off of his roster now.
Yeah.
I don't even want to say his roster because he doesn't even coach anymore. I understand he is a coach, He was a coach. He can give his opinion, but you don't coach anymore. You're not on the sidelines knowing what's happening. You're in the booth. You're giving your opinion. And right now, I mean, in my opinion, Dan Mullens' opinion shouldn't even matter to Kirby Smart. Kirby just needs to let that stuff just roll off the shoulder and continue to what you're doing, and that is, once again, dominating.
Yep, 100%. Let the pundits talk. This guy, he's a nobody at this point, man. Kirby's that guy.
I mean, stole the words right out of my mouth.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I bet there's a lot of Mississippi State fans that are happy that he said that. They're probably Kirby fans now, if we're being honest, because I know a lot of State
100%.
fans that do not like old Dan Mullens, or Florida fans as well. All right, let's keep this thing rolling to another coach. Lost another game. They're on top of the college football world for a while. You know, it's been about 7 years now. It's been a minute, but, you know, top of the world in college football. And now, not rock bottom, but it's getting close. You know,
it's basically rock bottom for Clemson at this point. Like, I mean, I haven't seen Clemson lose 4 games ever.
Literally, when's the last time we saw that? All right,
like early 2010s, maybe.
We gotta see this. All right, Clemson football records. All right, give your guess. What year?
How many losing seasons?
Four. Last time they had 4 losses. What year?
I want to say 2014.
Oh, that was close.
Was it, 2013?
That was close. 3 losses that year. It was actually 2011. That was the last time they had 4 losses. So, yeah, I mean, this team's been great for a very long time.
I mean, the team's been dominant. I mean, at one point it was Alabama and Clemson back-to-back national championships almost every year. I mean, but now it's just college football starting to catch up, I think.
Yes.
College football is evolving into something bigger. Comes with the NIL deals, comes with the transfer portal. Those are the 2 big things right there. Recruiting is getting a lot harder because these recruits want money now. And Dabo's not really going after it. Dabo's not really using the transfer portal as it is. But run that clip, brother, and let's see what this man has to say.
Yeah, let's see what Dabo had to say after the loss. He does take it on the chin. I respect what he has to say. Some of the things he says are not the greatest. But let's hear what Dabo has to say here.
Try to find a way to win a game. And, you know, the number one way to win a game is you know, not lose a game, not beat yourself. Do some of the little things better. And right now we're not doing that. And, again, that's 100% my responsibility. So there's not much other than I can say. I mean, you guys saw the game. And, you know, every loss we've had, a couple plays. And, again, proud of the guys for competing. They absolutely never quit. Even a chance all the way down to the last play there. But it's just not good enough, and that's my responsibility. Try to find a way to win a game. Right. And, you know, the number one.
Dabo Sweeney there. He's about to go in repeat mode. But, yep, that's what Dabo had to say about another loss, 4 losses, like we said. So, CDM, what's your thoughts on those comments? And, hey, is Clemson dead, man? Are they dead?
Oh, yeah, Clemson's been dead. Clemson's done. Like, after that 3rd loss, Clemson's just over. But it's just it's the quote that he said. He's like, well, you get to win more games, you can't, or to not lose more games, you got to win. You don't say. But that's not one. Like, I found that funny because, I mean, that's the most biggest thing. Like, yeah, you have to win to not lose. But also, Dabo has to, in my opinion, adapt to college football and what he's doing. Nick Saban has been able to adapt to college football and the growth that it's had in the transfer portal and NIL deals. And that's one thing that me and you have talked about a while ago, is Dabo is not taking into the transfer portal. How do you think all these teams around you, other teams in the country have gotten better, is hitting the transfer portal? You think Jordan Travis has the success that he has right now with the weapons at Florida State? No, they went out, they got Keon Coleman, who has been balling, probably, in my opinion, my top wide receiver for the Biletnikoff Award this year. But Dabo has to be able to adapt to college football and what it's doing and the growth that is coming with it as well. And my biggest thing is the transfer portal. Transfer portal is the biggest thing for college teams right now. It's basically free agency. It's whoever offers the biggest bag, whoever has the best chances of playing for a playoff spot, for a conference championship, for a national championship. You have to reach in the bag and you don't it's going to hurt. You don't want to do it. But if you want to continue to be a successful coach at Clemson, a team that has been historically for the past couple of years a powerhouse for college football, you have to be able to do what other coaches and other organizations are doing, and that's go out there and get better players. And right now, I don't think Clemson has the elite caliber roster to compete with the Florida State. We saw that. They did compete with Florida State, but ultimately lost. They don't have I don't think they could compete right now with other teams out there that are utilizing these two new things that are in college football right now. And I don't want to say that his coaching career is over. I don't think it's over. I think it may be time for, Clemson and Dabo to really sit down and look like, hey, if we can't make things happen, and if this is going to be a recurring thing with 4 losses, 5 losses, then maybe it's time to open a new chapter in our books and go separate ways. I hope that's not the case, because Dabo is an elite coach. It's just he has to be able to do what other elite coaches are doing. If Nick Saban can adapt to college football with NIL deals and transfer portal, I think Dabo would have to swallow a big pill and just, bite the bullet and go and do it. That's what he has to do ultimately if he wants Clemson to still be relevant in college football.
Yeah. Couldn't have said it better myself, man. That's it. You got to adapt. I mean, this team, we've seen it in the past, and the talent's everywhere now. It's not just Clemson and Bama and Georgia. It's everyone has talent. Everyone has a guy.
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere. Florida State has a quarterback. Georgia, they have a quarterback. Ohio State has a quarterback. Washington has a quarterback. Michigan has a quarterback. LSU has a quarterback. There's players everywhere. And it's not just quarterbacks. Everyone has, it feels like everyone almost has an elite receiver at this point. Everyone has a great defensive player. And these guys you can't stash 5 stars anymore, man. They don't. It's not the same. It's not same football anymore. Nick Saban's
No, they're chasing a bag now. It's bag chasing.
Well, dude, they want to play. And when I could sit on the bench for these Georgia Bulldogs or Alabama Crimson Tide, but Brian Kelly called me the other day and said that he's got a starting spot waiting for me.
And you have to you have to take advantages where you have them.
Yeah.
And if you're not setting those players up for success, and I understand the waiting process and everything, but if they're not seeing their progress or their success going anywhere, then bounce out. Go find somewhere where you're going to be able to start. It could be in Conference USA. It could be in the AAC. It could be in the. It could be in It can be in one of the Power Five conferences.
Yep.
You have to find some place where you're going to ultimately get success. And Dabo has to figure out, okay, if I put myself in a position to succeed, I'm going to be able to put the players in a position to succeed. And then we all together as a team can come together and prove to the country that we are still a top 10 team right now. They're nowhere near a top 5 team. They're not. They have fallen off big time. This loss coming to NC State, no slouch, by the way. NC State's a really good football team. Florida State, they competed in that game, but the play calling was terrible in overtime. It's another team they lost to. They have to play Notre Dame soon, so that's going to be a hard team to play as well.
That's next week, right? Next week?
I think so. So Dabo just has to, as I've said,
it's this week. I didn't put it on our slate because I thought that Notre Dame easy dub.
I won't know about that. We'll find out. But Dabo has to figure out what's going to happen.
Pick 6.
That was a terrible throw. That was god awful, Jared Goff.
Oh my gosh, Raiders! What are we doing?
Marcus Peters. Hey, look, the wash. Oh my lord, dude actually exists now.
Look at him.
He's relevant again. But as I was saying, as we were saying, once again, you have to be able to adapt in college football to ultimately succeed to your goal. And I think every team's goal is a national championship. Most teams look for a playoff berth. But if you're Clemson, you're used to it. You're used to going into the playoffs. You're used to going to play for natties. Now you'll be lucky enough to make a bowl game this year.
Yep.
If you don't play the cards right.
Yeah, it's the thing is dude, do they even win a bowl game? Do they even make it to the bowl game? I was looking at the schedule. I had it earlier. I actually clicked out of it. Yeah, their schedule from this point on. Just say it. Notre Dame, ranked team. Notre Dame's got some big wins. Georgia Tech, they've upset a lot of guys.
Hey, man. Georgia Tech is that team that's going to kill you when
Haynes
you least
King,
expect it.
We're going to show y'all him in a sec, but yeah, I mean, Georgia Tech, you never know. They fought hard against Ole Miss as well. North Carolina, always a great game. South Carolina,
dear Lord,
another great game. I mean, these last 4 games are no slouches for Clemson.
Boy, they play they do play. Oh man, that South Carolina game can go either way. It could be really good or
they might
really
not win
bad.
another game, bro. I mean, that's crazy to think about. They could go 4-8, man. Like crazy.
I mean, it could. I mean, it totally could happen. But I mean, it's so weird now to see Clemson like this again. It's very weird because everybody. I mean, and I'm gonna say this: everybody thought after the Texas loss, Alabama was going to be the same way, that we were going to win. That we were only going to win like maybe a few games, have 4 losses, not even make a New Year's Six bowl. Yeah. But at this point, Clemson doesn't even look like they're ready to even compete for a bowl game. Yeah. I mean, it's insane. But that's my opinion on it. Dabo has to find ways to adapt in this era of college football, especially next year when the 12-man playoff bracket comes around. He's got to definitely find ways to adapt.
Yep.
And I love Dabo. Dabo is an awesome coach.
He is. I mean, we got to see what Clemson can do, man. Intrigued about this game. Kind of wishing I put it on the roster now, but our games that we're picking are pretty awesome. So
yeah, I think our games are pretty cool.
I mean, that's a classic. If Clemson had won, maybe, but 4-4, kind of mid. All right,
very mid.
Let's get into this recap, brother. Got all our headlines out of the way.
Cooking with gravy now.
Yes, we are. Hey, another great week of football. Had some big-time wins, big-time losses, and we're going to start with one of those big-time losses, and we're going to send it out there to Kansas, where we saw an amazing scene after the Sooners take their first loss of the season to the Jayhawks, bro. That's
not
a
the team that you
team.
thought they would lose to.
Nope.
Like
you think
Texas
would
be the team that you think they would lose to.
Yeah, you thought.
Yeah, no.
Let's send it out to Kansas. Let's see how these fans reacted to the victory here. Look at this. Look at this beautiful
tearing down goalposts. They ended up in the lake.
Yes, it did. Just wait. You just wait. We're gonna have this rolling for a little bit. Look at this. Just look at this. We got
rush the field.
Beautiful scene here. Another little
college
scene of
football.
them taking it out the building here. They already broke it in half. It looks like unbelievable scene here. I love to see this. Just wait. Yep.
There we go.
We got it.
Put it in the lake. Throw it in the lake. Oh well. Don't throw yourselves in the lake.
Yeah, these guys.
Bam, in there.
These guys.
And throw yourself in the lake.
Don't worry. There's another part of the thing in the background here. Hang on. Oh, we got the other piece in the background there. Oh,
there it is.
There it is. Yes, for people that are listening, we are seeing the goalpost split in 3 parts and thrown into the nearby lake for Kansas. Amazing scene. They rushed the scene, tore down the goalpost. They will get fined.
What college football is all about, man.
This really is what college football is truly all about. Gotta love to see that scene, CDM. But let's get to the game. Obviously, that's the big part. I'll start us off here when it comes to Kansas getting a massive, just an absolutely massive dub. And really, the question begs, is the Big 12 now knocked out of the playoff? I'll get into that in a sec. Let's look at this game for first of all, let me send my respects. Jason Bean, he is interesting.
Sneaky fast. Sneaky speed.
Fast, careless with the football, but makes plays, man.
Athletic all around.
The backup, he was very good. I was impressed with what he was able to do in this game. Kansas' run game, they just took over.
Dude, I mean, I was gonna say the same thing before you. Tawee Walker, 23 carries, 164 yards, 1 touch. Kansas dominated the line of scrimmage.
That's Oklahoma's running back.
Oh, my bad. Devin Neal, 25 carries, 112 yards, 1 touchdown.
Yes.
Kansas dominated the offensive line. They dominated the line of scrimmage from the start. They could not stop the run game.
Could not
at all.
I mean, you talked about it, kind of leaning into it. I mean, Oklahoma 269 rushing yards, Kansas 225. Kansas did beat them in the past, which is wild to think about.
It's crazy, but also they shut down Dillon Gabriel when it came to passing the ball.
That's my biggest thing, bro. Dillon Gabriel in his biggest moments just did not show up, was not the player we thought he could have been. Very shocked that they were able to slow down that passing game for Oklahoma. I mean, they were able to run the piss out of the ball, and they did.
I mean, Dillon Gabriel had 3 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah.
I mean, besides him and Walker were dominating, but Dillon Gabriel, 14 of 19, 171 passing yards and 1 interception, and that 1 interception was pick 6, like went to the house.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's crazy.
I mean, it was not the best game for it was not Oklahoma's game. I feel like they came in not mentally prepared for Kansas to come out and play the way they did.
Which is shocking. A little shocking.
Very shocking, but also this snaps Kansas's losing streak to Oklahoma.
Yes, I saw that.
Like,
what was
snaps it, dude, and it's very exciting to see that because, I mean, for a team, I mean, just imagine getting dominated years and years and years and years and years by a team.
I do. I understand that feeling.
I know what you mean. I know. I'm right here. I know. Hey, y'all won last year. It's okay. It's okay.
We're going to win this year, too. All
right, okay. We'll get back to that. We'll get down there in a minute. But, I mean, it was just not the greatest day. I mean, Dillon Gabriel didn't have his best game, and not even my opinion. I mean, everybody saw it. Biggest upset for Kansas so far, in my opinion. Biggest upset right now for them. Biggest upset this year for college football as well. Oklahoma just didn't look comfortable. Oklahoma did not look comfortable on offense at all. Nothing could get going in the pass game, and their defense couldn't stop it. Defense could not stop their run game at all. I mean, as I said, that front 7 was getting dominated, and Kansas was making plays, though.
Yes.
Kansas made plays when they had to make them and put themselves in better position than Oklahoma did. Like, I mean, 52 seconds, and you go down the field, and I mean dominate down the field to get that last second touchdown. Great play, great job, great execution. So props to Kansas, props to the Jayhawks for getting the job done, son. Props to them, Oklahoma. I'm not going to say that this is not the end to the Big 12 making the playoffs because, I mean, you still have Texas that has 1 loss. Now you have Oklahoma. I still expect to see Oklahoma and Texas in the Big 12 championship, and one of them makes the playoffs. So I still think a Big 12 team can make the playoffs, but the road is a lot harder now. The road is a lot harder for the Big 12 making to the playoffs.
Yeah, I disagree strongly. Big 12's dead. Done. Not making it. They're not making it.
Whoa.
They're not.
You sure?
Yes, it's over. It's over. You want to know why?
Why you say that?
You want to know why? All right. Let me give you this outlook here. All right. Kansas State. We'll see what happens this weekend. TCU.
Dude, there's like a 5-way tie for first place, too.
I
just remembered that.
Yeah, this is Texas' schedule. Kansas State, TCU, Iowa State, Texas Tech. They should win 3 of those games without a doubt, but that Texas Tech game, it's a rivalry game. You never know. That is Texas's outlook. Let's get to Oklahoma here, who has now dropped below Texas, even though they have the same record, and they beat them. Don't know how that happens. This is the rest of their schedule. Oklahoma State, absolutely amazing, thrilling rivalry game. West Virginia, they've played some good ball this year. BYU, nah. TCU, they've got some interesting wins late, but still, nah. These 2 teams are going to have 2 losses possibly going into the championship game.
Oh, dude, I think I don't know, dude. I feel like if they play it smart, first off, I don't think Oklahoma is the biggest team to watch out for to lose a second game. I think Texas is the biggest team because they don't have Quentin Ewers.
Yes.
Ewers is out for 4 weeks, and if you're smart, you sit him for those 4 weeks. If they said 2 to 4 weeks would be the max that he'd be out.
Yep.
Keep him out for those 4 weeks, but you have to play great ball. You have to coach great games, and as I've said previous pods. These are where the games count. These games matter the most. These conference games, this is like bread and butter right now. You have to be pinpoint with it. You cannot go into these games thinking that you're going to blow them out, put up 40 points and walk out there with a dub. No, these teams will come out of here out of nowhere like Kansas. Kansas just proved us all that, I mean, even being an underdog, they can still come out and beat your ass.
Yep.
And this is what technically happened. Oklahoma got beat.
Yep.
Like in more way, like not even the score. The score shows it, but I mean, the plays that they've made showed it as well. The defense did not Oklahoma was not prepared mentally, I think, for this game. But I think Texas is the biggest team to worry about when it comes to getting that second loss, just because they're starting quarterback. So Oklahoma, this was just like, hey, it was bound to happen. It was either going to be to Texas, or in my opinion, it was either going to be to Texas or Oklahoma State. But Oklahoma's got to figure out what to do, and the road is a lot harder for the Big 12 because there's like a 5-way tie for first place in the Big 12 now.
Yes.
Like, it's insane.
All right, first things first, I need an Amon touchdown right here for Lions. So
it's not going to happen.
Dude,
it's not going to happen.
Gonna play action right here to Amon.
You need an Amon Ra, dude. I need Jacoby Myers and Devontae Adams put up 40 points right now. We
got the wrong offenses on the field here, so
obviously.
But nah, my thing. I just think what we're going to see here is a classic Texas loses the wrong game late. Oh, no. Tackle him. Texas is going to lose the wrong game. You might see later who I'm thinking. They're going to get into that championship game with Oklahoma, who will be in there. Yes, they will be in the championship game, probably with only one loss.
With one loss.
Texas is going to beat them, and they're both going to have 2 losses. And they're going to be knocked out of the playoffs.
Man, just imagine being a Big 12 fan and seeing that happen. That's just like a gut punch.
That would
just
be
a straight
pain, right?
Painful.
Absolute. Oh, my God, they got the ball. Oh, my God, the Raiders got the ball.
I know, I saw that, bro. Like, what happened? I did not see what happened.
Oh, he fumbled it? That's why he passed it to Amon.
That's why you put Gibbs in.
Yeah, good luck overturning. Oh, he's down, bro. Oh, no, he's down.
Let me see.
I was about to say, good luck.
I can't see. That pile is so – oh, no, that ball came out.
It did, but he had to have been down, bro. No way. He rips that out late, bro. No, yeah, he's down. You can see him on the ground.
I got to see another view. Dude, I can't even see. Okay, I mean, yeah, he's down.
Yeah, he's down. He's on his back there.
Yeah.
Damn, it got me. You got me.
Yeah, he got me for a second. But the Big 12's road to the playoff, it's seemingly looking to shrink. The door is seeming to shrink. They have a foot in the door. In my opinion, they have the big toe in the door. Honestly, that's about all they have right now. I mean, once again, your 2 best teams have 1 loss. I mean, you got to figure something out for sure.
Yep.
Yeah,
it definitely.
Other than that, really good game.
Yes, awesome football game. I loved watching it. Kansas, I thought it'd be a good game. I just never thought they would win the game. I just didn't think it'd be possible without Daniels at quarterback for Kansas. But hey, Bean, you're the man. You're the man, Bean.
Hey, man.
I bet he's on top of the university right now. That guy's got to be, rolling in it. But let's go. Let's go on to Oregon. Blowing out the Utes, brother. Out there in Utah. Beautiful Utah. Pat McAfee was out there. Watched them do their live show on Friday. And
34-degree weather. Pat McAfee stripping.
Have you ever heard of the term soaking, CDM?
I saw some clips of it, and
we're not going to
more of a BYU thing. It's more of a BYU thing from what I got told.
It is.
So
it is. So we're not going to talk about it. Once you hear that, you can go out there and you hear that term. You can go out there and look it up yourself. But we're not
go to the Pat McAfee show. They give it Cam Rising gives a great description about it.
Yeah, a very detailed description. I bet Wikipedia would as well. But yeah, man, what an awesome game. The Utes got just
awesome
absolutely
game. What was awesome about it?
We got to see Oregon do their thing, bro. I mean, come on, that was.
Okay. I thought you were talking about the game in general. Yeah, Oregon played awesome. Utah played like absolute dog crap.
Yeah, that was a horrible pick by your boy, Nate Dogg. That was just awful.
I picked Oregon, by the way. Let everybody know that. I picked Oregon.
Yeah, well.
I'll start this one off. Yeah, Ducks got it done, handled business, gave the Utes their second loss. They're done. They're out. No conference play, I was going to say. Still have a chance to make a Pac-12 championship. No playoff contention. They're done. Bo Nix, my God, that dude is good.
He's good.
My God. I looked at this. Bo Nix is throwing 78%, almost 80% against conference opponents. Conference opponents, bro. That's not even anybody outside of the conference. 78 to 80%. That's insane. With a QBR of 85, 4th in the nation. And then you have Bucky Irving over here, who's an absolute just bulldozer on the ground. Averaging 7.5 yards a carry and continues to show why he's the lead back at Oregon. I mean, those two. And then you have Troy Franklin, leading wide receiver for Oregon, Bo Nix's favorite target. I mean, this offense is good, and I'm not going to say that
they gave it to the Raiders.
I saw that.
What?
I just saw that.
That's bull.
His knee's down, bro. That's BS.
Wow.
But getting back to this Oregon, this team is good. This team is balling out. The defense did what they had to do. That's a false start.
Bruh. The NFL is cracked right now, dude. How in the hell? How do you not call him down, bro?
Yeah, okay, let's see. Knee is, okay.
Come on, his body's got to be on the ground somewhere. That's just
I don't know, bro. It looked like he's levitating. It kind of looked like he was levitating there.
He might have been.
Dude, he's not. No, his butt's on the ground.
That's what I thought, bro. Come on.
Oh, dude, no, he's down.
That's some bull, bro. Golly.
So everybody, remember when we were talking about officiating? Yeah, this is what we were talking about, officiating.
Another example. This one went to review for people that are listening and don't see this.
Yeah, they went to review on this and still gave it to Las Vegas.
Jeez.
That's insane. Hey, but Max Crosby just added to the stat sheet getting a strip.
Hey, get him that strip.
But back to Oregon. Once again, you have Bo Nix balling out against conference opponents. You have Bucky Irving, who's killing it right now on the ground. And then you have Troy Franklin going through the air, throwing the ball through the air too. I mean, dudes, this team's balling out. I don't think that this was a fluke against Washington. I think that, any given Saturday, a team can beat another team, depending on ranking. As Oklahoma just showed they're the sixth best team and they just got beat by Kansas.
Yep.
But I don't think this was a fluke. I think Washington did play. I think Washington was the better team going into that game. But the way that Washington's been playing compared to how Oregon's been playing since that game's happened, it's kind of showing that, Oregon, first off, Oregon did have a chance to win that game against Washington. They missed the field goal. But it's showing that, when the rematch comes to play, when these two teams have to play each other for a Pac-12 championship, I think Oregon can really get it done. Washington.
I didn't want to say it.
I'm so sorry. When it comes to this game, I think Oregon's going to be the better team because Washington is not look like the Washington they have been since that game. But Oregon right now has just been balling out and doing what they need to do. And, different for the next time for sure, these two teams will look different. And I think Oregon can come out on top. But right now, Oregon's playing some great ball. And I think that loss to Washington really woke him up. Especially, I think it woke up Dan Lanning and his coaching ability as well. He hasn't really been sharpened that much a lot since that Colorado game. No. So, humbleness is a big thing, and people need to get humbled. And I think, Dan Lanning getting humbled in that Washington game really showed because right now Oregon's going on a tear. So, lay the boomstick. Good Lord. That was Baby Gronk, bro. That was Baby Gronk.
Hey, talk about a
Baby Gronk, baby, laying the boom.
I love that. All right, tight end on Nate.
But yeah, that was my opinion on that. Oregon played a good game. The Utes did not look good. I think it's just showing without Cam Rising, that leader at quarterback, that you don't have that high caliber play.
Yep.
So as long as they don't lose another game, they can still make a Pac-12 championship. They just need Oregon and Washington to lose. But it was a great game. Oregon got the job done. Go Ducks. So kick us off, brother. How did you feel about this game?
Yeah, man, it was an interesting one for sure. I had the Utes, and I was kind of shocked, man, that they just think about playing against Oregon. You can't get down big. You can't go down big early. And Oregon jumped on them and put their foots on their neck immediately and just did not.
It was like 21-0.
It was so fast. And when you allow the Oregon Ducks to do that to you, good luck. First of all, Utah they're not scoring. They're not going to be scoring all these points, they're not that kind of a team. They're a team that relies completely on, keeping the game close until late, make a couple plays late. When they got down, what was it? Yeah, it was 14-3. So
21-0?
21-3 pretty much. Yeah, it was 21-3 at one point. Once that happened, I was like, this is over. Like, they're not.
Oh, yeah, dude. I was at work watching this game, and when I saw them get up 21, I was just like, ooh, man.
Yeah.
This is not the game that Utah was preparing for, or like not the team that they were preparing for. I thought it was going to be a closer game, honestly.
Yeah.
Even just because like last year's game was fireworks. I mean, but as you were saying.
No, the biggest thing for me is like the biggest moment of the game is when Oregon's cooking and then they fumble it. And Utah has a chance in their dang near red zone to get a touchdown, and they only kick a field goal. After that, it was over. Felt like that was when it was 14-0. Oregon has an opportunity to go right down this field and put it up 21-0. They fumble it. You get a touchdown there, it's an entirely different game. It feels like, and kicking that field goal is like, this is over, man. The
farm boy didn't come up to show play either, man.
Pig farmer.
I mean, send a 40-ounce bounce back to the pig farm where you belong, man.
Yeah, pig farmer.
I mean, good Lord, you show up against USC, but I mean that's USC. No surprise there. I mean, Utah owns them. But to come into this game and not really do anything, get shut down on the offensive side of the ball, I mean, as you said, going down 21-3, big killer, really big killer. Confidence killer for sure, because, I mean.
We might have a big trade.
You just
can't. There might be a trade happening in the NFL. Adam Schefter on TV right now.
Yeah, I'm checking my phone right now.
We might have some breaking news.
Leonard Williams got traded to Seattle.
Okay, he might just be talking about the trade deadline.
Okay.
That was a pretty big thing. Seeing Leonard, but yeah, sorry to cut you off, man. But yeah, man. I mean,
no, you're good.
I mean, yeah, it was shocking to see Oregon, do what they did. Not surprised what that offense can do. I'm just surprised that Utah literally had nothing on offense. Bryson Barnes, Pig Farmer was not there. Did not do his thing. I mean, Oregon's defense showed that they're legit. First of all, Bucky Irving. I want to put this out there in the universe. You talked about it. This guy is elite, and I'm not saying.
Sundays are going to be his days.
Dude, yeah,
Sunday. Somebody is going to get him, and they are going to be very happy with the production he's going to put up.
I'm not saying Bijan, but he is damn near that level of a talent.
I wouldn't say the athletic wise around Bijan, but I think he's a better downhill runner than Bijan for sure.
You can't tackle the guy. He breaks ankles. The first tackler is not bringing him down in college football. Yeah, it's different. It's going to be different in the NFL. It's going to be much harder. But this guy is unfreaking real. Every week he does something where I'm just like, what are you supposed to do? Like this. I mean, is
from the Washington game, that's where I saw him play. Like, I mean, the way he was pushing the pile, getting every yard out of that was just insane. I mean, the dude, he's a downhill runner. Like, I mean, when you get him into open space, he turns on the accelerator and he's just gone. But I mean, when he runs through the tackles, he has such great ball vision, and then pushing the pile to get every single yard. I mean, once again, 7.5 yards a carry right now. With eight touchdowns on the ground, that's insane, man. I mean, me and you say it about Chase McClellan at Alabama. His best days are ahead of him in the NFL. I'm saying the same thing about Bucky Irving. Yes. His best days are ahead of him on Sundays. Whoever gets him is going to be a very, very lucky. He may be. I mean, he's not going to be your number one, but for him to be a number 2 or a number 3. Oh, my gosh, bro. You're not going to know. Fresh legs coming off the bench. Dude. I mean, my Lord. He kind of reminds me of A-Chain right now, in my opinion. Not so explosive with speed, but with ball vision and the coordination of getting outside of the tackles and just making plays happen is insane. Oh, there goes Gibbs.
Speaking of Rook, there he goes.
Touchdown.
Love that. Rookie
Jahmyr Gibbs just takes it all the way for the Detroit touchdown. 27 yards. About time this rookie shows up.
Right? Well, yeah, and I feel like you put Bucky in like a little 2-man system out there, let's think,
Baltimore.
Yeah, he'd probably be the lead back there. Well, if you get JK back, him and Dobbins. Whew.
Yeah, but JK's coming off 2 major injuries, though.
True. That's true.
So, what are the odds? I mean, him and Aaron Rodgers are rehabbing with each other.
Yeah, now.
So,
we need a Kirk Cousins, A-Rod, J.K. Dobbins episode for Pat McAfee. That's what we need.
Oh my gosh, dude! Just give them their own podcast, the Achilles Crew. Oh man, respect to Kirk Cousins. So sorry.
Yes.
To anybody who has Kirk Cousins on your fantasy, I'm so sorry. We wish the best for Kirk to get healthy. It's such a big loss for the Vikings as well.
Dude, that sucks.
I wish him the best. I just don't know what the Vikings are going to do now with quarterback.
Whoa.
No. They have Nick Mullens. Yeah. They have Nick Mullens.
Hey,
Let's go.
To the top, brother. To the top time. That's what. Southern Miss to the top. Nick Mullens is about to win a championship for these guys. Yeah, no sweat.
Oh my Lord.
Not sweating this. Not even worried.
That's insane, dude. I totally forgot they signed him like 2 years ago. That is funny.
Yeah,
that is perfect.
He'll definitely be the
top,
backup. Yeah, thank you. Look at that. He's definitely the backup. They drafted that Jared Hall kid from BYU too, so I'd be interested to see maybe he gets some snaps one day. But yeah, man, Oregon beat the snot out of them. I didn't say it. It does make me question it might be a fluke, that Washington game, because of how Washington has looked, but still, I think it's a matchup thing. I think Washington has a perfect matchup for Oregon when it comes to team versus team. It's a great matchup. Oregon can't beat them. That's one of those series, if they play 10 times, it would be 50-50, it feels like. So.
Oh, yeah. Oregon would definitely win 5 out of the 10 times for sure. Same for Washington. I mean, you have two. First off, Washington, I feel like Washington beats them in the wide receiving core for sure. Washington has lethal wide receivers once again. Each wide receiver averages 15 yards of reception.
Franklin is a dog, though. Franklin is a dog.
Oh, Troy Franklin's a dog, man. I mean, he balled out against Washington.
Yes, he did.
I mean, his best days are on Sundays too. I mean, he's got elite playmaking ability.
Yep.
I mean, it kind of reminds me of kind of like a Jay Jettis type player. Probably a little bit of Jamar Chase in there as well, but I don't want to say it's a fluke because, as you just said, I mean any given Saturday and those two teams match each other. I mean, two elite quarterback players as well, and Michael Penix and Bo Nix at the top of the Pac-12 quarterback list, in my opinion.
Yeah,
but
100%.
When I expect these two teams to play again, and I expect the outcome to be different. Hey, baby Gronk,
yeah, that was a hell of a catch.
That was, dude. Get this man going. Wow. I expect it to be a different outcome when these two teams play again. I still expect them to play each other again, for sure.
Yeah.
But I expect the outcome to be totally different, especially since it's not in Washington or in Oregon. It's going to be, where is the Pac-12 championship at?
Rose Bowl? Is that where they play at?
No. It's in a dome. They played in a dome last year. I think it's in SoFi.
Let's see. Pac-12. Yeah, you're probably right. Championship.
Probably in SoFi.
Let's see. Oh, Vegas, Allegiant.
Oh, okay. That's even better.
That's awesome, actually. Man, we'll see. We'll see. I'm excited for that possible matchup. You still got to win some games. These teams got some teams in front of them that could, sway some records. So I hope we get that matchup later down the line. Let's go to a team that survives.
They don't even get I don't even want to talk about this team. They're not even worth my time. But since we're going to talk about it, sorry to interrupt you. We're going to talk about USC barely escaping California, 50-49. My first note right here, USC is still garbage. It's factual, okay? Cal is a lot better than people give them credit for. Cal is a lot better than people give them credit. Yes. Cal is a good team. But when USC has to play Oregon and Washington, seeing how they play Washington next week, it's going to be a high-scoring game, but it's going to be two teams dominating USC every play, in my opinion.
Yes.
The 2-point conversion. The 2-point conversion was the biggest killer.
Hey, let's get the video here. Let's get the video before we.
Oh yeah. Let's get this up here.
Let's see. We're gonna give you a little bit of a rundown here. Late game. What a game! What a game! What a game.
Just catch me and Nate on ESPN in the next couple of years commentating these games.
Yes, that's exactly right. So let's go out there to Cal. Look at this big run here by Marshawn Lloyd for 56 yards. My guy. Look at this guy.
That's too close to Marshawn Lynch, bro. That's way too close.
A little too close, right?
I mean, crap, he runs like Marshawn Lynch. He runs fast and heavy, dude.
Big boy. And then you get the speedster, Austin Jones, with a quick little burst up the middle. Wide open hole, man.
Makes it 50-43.
Look at that. And then Cal says, hey, we want to join in on this scoring here.
Yeah, we're not done yet.
We're at the 37-yard line. Oh yeah, this is mine.
Yeah.
Oh,
sends it up the freaking middle, dude.
Whoop. All the way down. Yeah, what
you see that elite defense by USC, dog? That's elite defense.
Yeah. Justin Williams Thomas on that run for 23 yards down at the 14-yard line. What are they going to do? 3rd and 9. A little check down pass out to the out. No, that's a little screen.
Little swing pass to the outside, breaks tackles in the end zone. 58 seconds left on the clock. 58 seconds.
Fernando Mendoza. Look at this. Here we go. What
are we doing right here? What are we doing? 58 seconds. You could easily send this thing into overtime because you're competing. You're competing with this team. Man in motion, and just they send the pressure. I mean, they send the pressure and a
jump pass.
Just a terrible, terrible throw. USC escapes 50-49 against Cal. In my opinion, I mean, if USC is having to put up 50 points a game against teams like this, they're not ready to compete. Yeah. They're not ready to compete in the Big Ten. Do you see Big Ten teams going up against each other putting up 50 points, trying to like keep their hopes alive for at least a New Year's Six bowl? No, you don't. So I don't think the 2-point conversion, I don't think it was good. Me and Nolan talked about this on Saturday.
Terrible.
We talked. It was Saturday. We talked about it. I don't think it was the smartest play. I think if you're going toe to toe with a team like that and you're scoring back to back, you play it safe. You go into overtime, and then you have chances to stop them. It was not the smartest play in my opinion. Another play by a Pac-12 team that we'll talk about after this. Just too bad. Just a bad call right there. I think you play it safe. You go into overtime. You have an opportunity to stop them. I mean, and then you possibly win the game and hand USC their third loss. So, I mean, their third loss in 3 games. But, I mean, I'm not the coach. I don't make the play calling. I do think you run something better right there. In my opinion, you kick the PAT, go into overtime, and you ultimately, and I think they win the game if they do that.
100%. I completely agree. And if you're going to go for it there, what the heck is that play call?
Yeah, dude. Like, I mean, that play call was trash. You run it up the middle. Like, I mean, I know either that or run a quick slant over the top or an RPO. Dude. I mean, they're sending pressure over them. I mean, they're sending pressure at you, dog. I mean, the middle of the field's going to be wide open. I mean, you could easily throw it over the middle and have a chance of your wide receiver making the play. Have a chance because sending pressure they're sending pressure off the edges, sending it up the middle. They're trying to get to the quarterback. So it's either you run it up the middle, you try and get to the outside. Oh, speaking of next week's Pac-12 matchup, you get USC versus Washington. Very interesting game. But I mean, there's so many more play calls that you could have done there, but I wanted you to play it safe. I wanted you to kick a field goal.
Let's look at it one more time here. Oh, no, never mind. I try to get it to start. All right, my bad. Let's switch it back to us. Yeah, I was going to try and show that 2-point conversion again, but no, I mean, it's ridiculous. What are we doing there, man? I don't know. It's like play action, something, like flat.
I don't even think you want to play action if they're sending that much pressure to you, man. Yeah. I mean, you see how fast they got there. That offensive line crumbled.
It was too many routes. What I'm saying. Too many routes in the same location.
Too many routes.
It's like, I don't know. I mean, I get it. I understand it. Like, you don't want to play around with a team where you could actually like win when you shouldn't. I get it. I understand why you go for it, but you got to have a better play than that. I'd rather get super creative, Philly especially. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. At least you tried it. At least you said, all right, we've practiced this specific play for this specific move. Yeah. They just feel like a play you just picked out of the playbook, It's like, oh, this one looked like it'll work, and obviously it didn't.
Or you do the touch push. You just line up at a center and just run that thing, push the pile.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I understand going for the win against a team like that, but play it safe. You just got to play it safe.
Yep.
But, there's another team in the Pac-12 that also did some creativity that ultimately did not end up well. If you want to run that clip, you have Washington versus Stanford. It was a great game. Stanford was driving down the field, and my boy Nate's about to drop the clip. It was 4th and 2, and Stanford came out with some creativity right here.
Look at this.
Botched it. Botched it bad. 3:20 left on that clock, Nate. You had 3 minutes and 20 seconds. If you get that 4th down, you go down the field and you score. Look at that quarterback, dude. Heartbroken.
Let's see.
Heartbroken.
Little pitch pass to his. Oh, come on.
And you see, did you see? Okay,
it's not even a bad throw, bro. It's like
if you watch that play again, you see the defense is already shifted over to that side. They know where that play is going to go. They're expecting a toss. And, I mean, they were going to shut down the toss, but, I mean, you got to find somebody else to throw a ball better than that, in my opinion. I know it was like a quick pass. You had to get it off or you're going to take a hit.
Man,
but
I mean,
you need to find somebody else to – I mean, that's a heartbreaker.
Let me see this one more time. Little pitch pass. I mean, doesn't it – it's a little low, man. I mean, he's got a –
I mean, it's low. He didn't plant his feet. I mean, you have to have a quarterback throw that ball right there if you want pinpoint.
That might have been a touchdown, bro. That might have been a
touchdown. That was a game winner, bro. Like, you win the game. Like, you go down and you're down 35-33. You get that fourth down conversion. Anyway, I understand you're going up against a 5th ranked team in the nation. You have to pull out all the stops. You got to get creative. I mean, I love Gibbs, but I love the play. But I feel like you could have ran that out of a different formation, or you could have just ran a different formation as it is, to where you get a quarterback type player to throw a better ball than that. But I mean, also Washington had that play down to a point where they shifted over to the left side, got the pressure, and that ultimately made him make a bad throw to a wide open guy. I mean, there was 2 defenders around him, but I mean, he had like a 2-3 yard split against him to catch that ball, get a couple extra yards. But it was a very heartbreaking play. I would want a quarterback to make that throw for sure. But besides that play, Washington, ever since this Oregon game, has just not looked like the Washington that we saw that game against Oregon. We have not seen it. The week after that, they go and play Arizona State at home again, win 15-7. This game right here, I mean, no disrespect to Stanford. I mean, Stanford did make a really big comeback against Colorado, send it into overtime, win that game. But Washington is looking very sloppy on both sides of the ball. Michael Penix really isn't doing anything bad, in my opinion. He's making some boneheaded plays. But ultimately it's a team effort. Neither side of the ball is looking too good, and I'm hoping that they didn't peak too early. I'm hoping they did not peak too early to where Oregon wears their national championship. Quote me on that. That wasn't their national championship. That wasn't the game that they have ultimately waited all year to play. Because I mean, Washington has such a good team to go compete with the likes of Georgia, with Florida State, with Ohio State, and Michigan. But you have to be able to buff out these mistakes and be able to compete with teams like that. And if they still want to be a legit threat, they have to start playing like they did at the beginning of the season. And that's being an explosive team, shutting teams down on defense, having your defense make explosive plays as well. Because, I mean, they almost lost to Arizona State. They didn't put up a single offensive touchdown until they got that pick 6 to ultimately win in the game. And then this game right here was just sloppiness, man. I mean, once again, no disrespect to Stanford, but Stanford is below 500, and you're letting them put up 33 and almost win a game against you. I mean, you can't let this Oregon game define your season. Yes, you beat one of your biggest opponents, one of your most historic opponents in your conference. Congratulations. But now it's time to look forward to the biggest goal. And the biggest goal right now should be a Pac-12 championship, should be the playoffs. You just got to take one game at a time, because these games count. If they were to lose to Stanford, first off, it's a terrible loss. Yes. It's a terrible loss to have on your resume this season.
Them and Arizona State.
Ultimately, that would knock Michael Penix out of the Heisman talk, and everybody would say that he's not worth the first-round pick. He is, but they have to get better. They have to buff out the mistakes they've made and get back to where they were playing at the beginning of the season. And, I mean, that goes with having the explosive plays downfield, deep shots, good run game. And defense has to show up. Defense has to make plays on their own. You can't put the rest of it on Michael Penix and that offense. They can only do so much. The defense has to wake up now.
Yeah.
And it kind of looking like, I mean, I don't want to say back to the fluke thing with Oregon. I mean, was it a fluke that you won that game? I mean, was it a fluke that you was it a fluke that you beat Oregon? Because, I mean, right now, Oregon's playing better ball than you are, and you beat them. Oregon's not struggling right now the way you are against these other opponent teams in your conference. Oregon's putting up 30 points a game right now after a game like that they had against Washington. Oregon looks like they haven't even missed a beat. Washington looks like they're stumbling a little bit, that they're looking to get exposed one day. And I'm hoping it's not this weekend, because, once again, you have to play a very explosive quarterback in Caleb Williams, which, no disrespect to Caleb Williams, but I mean, it's Caleb Williams, man. He's going to find ways to tear your defense up. Yeah. And no, I'm not even going to talk about that defense for USC. Michael Penix better carve that defense up. I'm telling you, I'm talking about he better murder.
Yeah, I don't think.
But how did you feel about this game?
Hey, first things first, got a little bit of a little bit of breaking-ish news. Dabo Swinney delivered a strong response on it during a radio appearance. Wish I could have got us the audio of this. Apparently,
Dabo's head coach claps back at smart-ass kid who called into a show.
So yeah, apparently a kid called in and he said, you can have all your opinions. I don't know how old you are. Don't care. We won 11 games last year and you're a part of the problem. That's a bold statement. That is a bold statement to say after your team lost due to your coaching. Yeah, I don't know about that one, Dabo. I don't know about that one, but
that just probably set himself up for being a target. Now, I'm not gonna lie, there's gonna be targeting. They're gonna target that man now. Not even like the media is gonna target him now.
That's not the response there. You're 4-4.
Hey man, you push buttons, you're bound to crack. You're bound to crack.
Fans are they're gonna have their opinions, brother. That's
you have to have composure. I mean, Nick Saban has composure like that. Nick Saban doesn't let the media get to him.
No, he's not gonna let the kids or fans get to him. He's about winning, and when you're losing, it's even more about winning. But yeah, man.
God, what? Gibbs has 142 yards rushing right now.
He is cooking right now, bro. I mean, he is running so hard. But no, I mean, for this one, for me, man, it's oh man, please, I need a touchdown from Amon. Go for it, throw it to Amon. But yeah, this is a hard one for me because I've been on Washington all season.
That's been your team.
I've respected their skill set offensively, and I think they're I thought they're underrated on defense. Right now, I'm questioning it because even though Stanford's got some players, their offense isn't bad. It's Stanford. And you should not be, losing or not even losing, but in these games are not games that should. Oh, you got it. These are not games that it should be a problem for a Washington. And you look back, it goes all the way back to Arizona. First of all, Arizona, good little squad they got over there.
Hey man, I was talking to somebody at my job. Arizona is the best 3-loss team because they beat Oregon State.
Yep.
They are the best 3-loss team this season. Fafita? Nobody can sway my decision on that.
Fafita, that quarterback, should have beat
absolute
USC.
Legend.
They should have beat USC. He is so good, freshman. He's so good, but
dude, he had 3 touchdowns in that Oregon State game, dude. Insane.
He's cooking. But yeah, I mean, it started there, 31-24 win. Then you go to Oregon, close win, 36-33. Arizona State is when everyone was a little bit, well, what the hell? Maybe you're on your high. Maybe you just hit a high with Oregon, kind of get caught off guard with Arizona State 15-7. And then you have a tough game against Stanford, 42-33, in a game that Stanford, like we said, legitimately had a chance there at the end and kind of messed themselves up with some mistakes and just a drop pass or a bad throw, whatever you want to put it on. But this one, it's hard for me, and you'll see where I've got them ranked this week, and it'll kind of add to where I'm thinking they're at right now. Feels like I don't think they peaked, like you said, but they got to get their head on straight because the beef for their schedule is now here, even though Oregon was that mid-season test and they got through that first test of the year. That's the first time they faced adversity all year, being down a good portion of that game and, overcoming it. And I do believe these close games are good, even though you shouldn't be close. Like, it builds character. It builds, what being in those moments helps the team at the end of the day in those bigger games. Like, I say that about Bama right now. Like, the close games they've been in this year, being down to Tennessee, it's like those are moments like, yeah, Georgia beats the snot out of everybody, but that's a moment that their adversity is not going to be tested until maybe the biggest game of the year. And I feel like being tested early on, facing adversity, maybe even taking that loss is like it's good, to feel that.
It's not the worst thing. Like, I mean, me being a Bama fan, I didn't like the loss against Texas. You were there with me. But also I think oh man, that was a behind really bad. That was not good. But adversity is what teams need to become better teams. It involves character development for every player, for your coaching staff as well. Buff out all the mistakes that you have early to ultimately set yourself up for success. So that's what everybody, and myself including, thinks Georgia is going to have to go through. But from this weekend, it didn't really show that they had any adversity, especially without their best player, possibly the best player in the country, Brock Bowers, on their team. Really show that. But I mean, getting an early loss in the season and, going down in a game, a couple points, as you said, it shows that's character development. That shows what you're going to be, what your team is going to be able to do for the rest of the season.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, it's interesting, man. It's very interesting what this team can and can't do. I don't know what the heck's going on over there with these recent games. It definitely builds character, and I do think it won't impact him negatively. Like, winning these games is much better than losing them. So you're learning in losses. So that's the kind of thing I'm alluding to here. But when you got, we have our opinions about USC, but USC still got really good offense. So you got USC, Utah, Oregon State, Washington State. So you got two good defenses and two good offenses in the end of your schedule. So you get tested in both ways. It's interesting because, none of those teams are Oregon, but man, that's some tough matchups. Those are some tough matchups.
I mean, it's make or break moments now for Washington. It's they paved their own path now, and I hope this game right here was a wake up call.
Yes,
I hope this game shows stuff that, I mean, every game shows what you have to work on for sure. Yes. But this game being as close as it was really shows hey, if we are to compete for a playoff spot, then we need to really go back to what we were doing at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, man, we'll see what they do. I'm still on Washington. I'm going to hold strong, but
hey, man, I love Washington, man. Don't get me wrong, but it's going to be really funny when Oregon beats them in the Pac-12.
Oh, this guy right here. Wait. This guy right here. This guy. Yeah, man. Let's move on though to a team that just is not getting our respect, and maybe they do now. We'll see. The Buckeyes just keep on stacking dubs, my man, and they got a massive, these games there's kind of a consistency coming with them, getting a massive dub again, stacking them up, but once again get this insane, incredible game from the man himself, Marvin Harrison Jr.
My Heisman pick, Nathan's Heisman pick.
Hey.
The resume is looking good. In my opinion, they do have a better resume than Michigan. Michigan is just blowing out every team that they go up against. So, I mean, in my opinion, Ohio State has the better resume. But I could talk about Ohio State. I want to talk about Marvin Harrison Jr. This man is a freak of nature. This dude is a dog.
Let's see it.
Yeah, this right here, man. Great hands in the face and gets a foot down in bounds, holds on to the ball. He's had these past 4 games, he's had over double-digit receptions, and he's had triple-digit receiving yards. He's averaged oh my gosh, dude, that was terrible. He's had I think he's averaged these past 4 games at least over 130 receiving yards so far, and is only getting better and better. But the one thing I want to talk about this is, if Marvin Harrison Jr. still has hopes or still has the big odds to win the Heisman, to be the 3rd wide receiver in college football history, to win a Heisman trophy, he needs one thing to happen. He needs Kyle McCord to play better. He needs Kyle McCord. He's no C.J. Stroud. He's no Dwayne Haskins. I understand that. This is a new team. This is a new build for Ohio State. But when you have such a big target on the outside in Marvin Harrison Jr., you have to be able to find ways, more creative ways to give him the ball. And I know that goes with coaching, but my boy Kyle is the one who has the ball in his hand. He is the main guy who has to put the ball where he needs to be. And that's the main thing if Marvin Harrison Jr. still wants to be a Heisman winner, is that Kyle McCord has to be better with his decision making, with every throw that he makes, with his snap, with his post snap reads. He has to find better ways to get him the ball. And yes, he has been playing good, but he also threw 2 interceptions in this game with 2 touchdowns, which was bad. I'm not going to lie. It was not the best 2 interceptions that you can have. No interceptions good, but 2 interceptions in this game did not. It's just showed me that Kyle McCord, I don't know if he's the guy. I don't know if he is the main guy that Ohio State needs for these coming years. Because, I mean, I just don't know. Because, I mean, they still have a hard schedule coming up. They still have to play Michigan at the end of the year. They had their big test against Penn State, which it was an iffy game at first, but they ultimately won the game at the end. But for Marvin Harrison Jr. to be a Heisman winner, I need Kyle McCord to play better ball. And that goes with everything that I said. Oh, my God. Oh.
Wide open, bro.
God bless America, Jimmy G.
Yeah, that looked like the Super Bowl.
No, dude, that one was way too close. That one, that does not even comprehend. Oh, but Aiden Hutchinson, dude, so good. So good.
Oh, but yeah, man.
Marvin Harrison Jr., I still think he can do it, but Kyle McCord at the end of the day has to play his best ball. And, oh, my Lord, Nate, you just got whiter and whiter about the time.
Bright, jeez.
Yeah, I'm about to say.
Turn into a ghost.
But Kyle McCord needs to play, as I said about Carson Beck. Carson Beck doesn't have his best player, but he still has to play like a Heisman Trophy winner. And that's what Kyle McCord needs to do. He needs to play like he's playing for a Heisman. Ultimately, I think that Marvin Harrison Jr. has the best odds on that team to be the Heisman winner. Yes. I just need to see more out of Kyle, dude. I need to see more out of that offense. I need to see more out of the coaching staff finding ways to get Marvin Harrison open. I mean, besides Brock Bowers, Marvin Harrison Jr. is possibly the second best skill player, or not the first skill player to be the best one in college football right now. Oh yeah. I mean, there's talks about him being the second overall pick. The last wide receiver to be the second overall pick was Calvin Johnson. Okay, that's great. That's a great person to look at and be like, okay, if I can be like him, if I can do everything that he did and be the second overall pick, that just shows what kind of a player I am. But it comes down to Kyle McCord and what he has to do.
Yeah, that was my biggest takeaway too. And I don't believe fully in all these stats and stuff. Oh, there's Myers for you.
That doesn't matter. It's over.
But yeah, I don't look into all these stats fully. I obviously touchdowns and interceptions, passing yards.
But there's so much more into stats that you have to look at that come into play.
My thing, you look at it, and the eye test tells you one thing, that one guy was better than the other guy. But quarterback rating wise, Kyle McCord at a 56, Brendan Locke at a 61.7. So technically, the rating says that Locke had a better game overall, even though he went 18 of 39, 165, and a touchdown. He didn't turn the ball over. And that's the only reason Wisconsin was in this game, is that they were getting turnovers. And I think this whole narrative needs to shift with Ohio State. Like, it's got a weird feeling that it feels similar-ish to an Alabama this year when it comes to they're not going to win with this unfreaking real explosion of offense. That's not who they are. They have an elite defense.
Who are you talking about?
Ohio State.
Okay. Yeah, I thought you were talking about Bama. Yeah, Ohio State's defense is still there, bro.
Dude, they only allowed 94 freaking rushing yards to Braylon Allen. He's a monster.
Yeah, he's a dog.
50 yards, but only for himself. And then some other guys added to it. But yeah, they stopped the run. First of all, if you're stopping Wisconsin running the ball, you're winning the game. That's it. That's the game. But it's bigger than that for me. They run the shit out of the ball. 181 for them. And they had Marvin Harrison Jr. get 123 through the air and 2 tuds. So this is how they win, and I think that's okay. Travion Henderson coming back, that changes everything with their run game.
That opened up everything. Yes. I think that's what opens up the offense a lot more, is getting him back into that. Because
he is their secret weapon, dude.
Because you don't have to rely on Marvin Harrison as much.
Yes. Yeah,
you don't have to worry about, once again, you want to give Marvin the ball, but also you have Henderson to open up Marvin as well.
Yes. Look, how big is this guy? 5'10", 221. 212.
Oh, dude, he's a runner, bro. He is a downhill runner, but he's got sneaky speed.
He's a dog, man. I really like him. I think he's a guy that's going to have some good days on Sundays as well. But his team, I want to shift the narrative, because I just, like you said it perfectly. This guy's not C.J. Stroud. And it's unfair expectations to put it on him like that. Like, C.J. Stroud was one of the most accurate quarterbacks we've seen in college football. Just eye test. You saw the accuracy, timing, anticipation. finding the big guy, finding the guys. It's not even just about, finding the open guy. It's finding your guy. And like you said, we need to find ways to get Marvin Harrison the ball, him open more. Personally, I don't even need him open. He's catching balls where he's double teamed. Like, just throw him the ball.
Yeah.
Why not? And we saw the whole Penn State catastrophe with, one of the reporters coming up to Franklin before their game against Ohio State and was talking about, have you ever thought about just throwing a ball up there? Because they
throwing the ball deep. Yeah.
Just throw it up there, And he's like, we have never thought of that. And I'm over here like, if I'm Ohio State, it's so funny, bro. His response was hilarious. But if I'm Ohio State, man, I'm over here like, personally, 1-2 plays a game. Just
deep shots.
Just go route. Just a go route.
Yeah, just send him deep. Just send him deep. Let him do the rest of the work. As long as you get the ball there and put it under him. Hunter Renfrow. Hunter Renfrow.
But my thing is, like, this guy is like, and I don't want to compare him to a guy like being a homer or nothing, but he's better, first of all. But he has that same ability to just jump ball anything and catch it like a Jamar Chase. Like Jamar in college, bro, literally Joe would just throw it to him, go routes.
And he beat it showed in the national championship against AJ Terrell. I mean, he just toasted him. I mean, absolutely toasted him. It showed in the Alabama game against Trayvon Diggs. I mean, threw him a jump ball. It's like kind of a back shoulder, but I mean, he still went up and got it and scored.
That's what I'm saying.
Marvin Harrison Jr. is just a freak of nature, and you put the ball where he needs to be, where it needs to be in his vicinity, anywhere in his catching radius. If you put it there, he's bound to, like, 50-50. He's going to come down with the ball. There's no doubt in my mind.
He's so good, man. And that's my biggest takeaway is, like, just give him he's down there somewhere. Derek Carr posted a little meme today. Rashid's down there somewhere. Marvin Harrison is down there somewhere. Just throw it.
It's like that meme. It's like that meme. F it. He's down here somewhere.
He's down there somewhere.
Throw it.
Like Tyreek with the Chiefs. Tyreek with the.
But also, like, with CJ Stroud, CJ Stroud also had one of the best wide receiving cores in football. He had Olave, he had Garrett Wilson, and he also had Marvin Harrison Jr. I mean, Kyle McCord still has an elite wide receiving core, but it's not like the first round talent that he's had before.
Yeah. And without Mbuke, it's definitely different. Like, they're not the same with him hurt. When it comes to just being able to have that slot guy, because he was getting a lot of touches, first few weeks.
But the thing is, you can move Marvin Harrison around. You can move him around in that offense, and nobody would be able to stop him.
He's got so much that Justin Jefferson kind of play anywhere type of thing, but he plays like a D hop. He's got Julio in him. He's like a build, like.
It's like they built him in a lab, but also you have to look at who his dad is. Yeah. His dad played with Peyton Manning. I mean, my Lord, dude. He's got the genes to be better. I mean, first off, not if. He will be better than his dad. Yeah, sorry. That's without a doubt. It's two different generations of football. That Marvin Harrison Jr. will be better than Marvin Harrison coming into the NFL. That's about it. It's about all you can say about Marvin Harrison.
Amon St. Brown's not going to get me my points, man. This is so freaking sad.
Man, welcome to my world.
I needed 20. I just need 20 from him. A touchdown
I needed a miracle. I absolutely needed a miracle, and it's not going to happen.
God,
the Raiders suck.
The Lions have freaking almost 500 total
500 yards of offense. My God. 35 minutes time of possession.
Besides that pick six, it's been a domination, literally, bro.
Yeah.
All right, play action here. We're going to give a little bit of commentary. Play action to Amon St. Brown real quick.
Is he even out there? Dude, he's not even on the field,
Nathan. Yes, he is.
Yeah, he is. I see him.
Please, no. Tackle.
Nope.
Oh, Jesus, no. It's over.
Touchdown. That's game. That is basically – there's a flag. Hey, there's a flag. There's a flag.
Holding, please.
I've never seen someone – holding, please. Please.
Yes.
There's opportunity. There's an opportunity to get him the ball.
We have a chance. Please.
My gosh.
They have to throw the ball. It's throwing down now. Come on.
Is it third down?
No, but it's got 10 yards now. So you can't run the ball from there. Let's hope.
Oh, my gosh. Just yanked that dude down.
Yeah, he did. All right. We're going to give one more commentary real quick here. No, we're not. It's taking too long. First and goal.
Yeah, no, it's too long. But, yeah, Marvin Harrison Jr., Absolute dog, absolute unit. His best days are on Sundays. I'm pretty sure you can plug him into any offense right now on any NFL team, and he would be the lead receiver. Well, most of the teams. I wouldn't say all the teams, but most of the teams.
Thank you.
That was a terrible play call, but
that was weird. Yeah, man. I think they'll do it for us. Marv is that guy. I said back in the past that Brock might be better than him. I don't think so. Brock is awesome. Marv is different.
It's so weird to compare them to because they both play
they're both generational.
Both teams.
They're both generational.
It's also that, and both teams use them in different ways as well.
Yeah.
They use Brock over in Georgia. They'll put him in the backfield, put him out wide, put him down low. You put him everywhere.
I think that's why too. He's Brock gets the ball he gets almost 20 touches a game, it feels like. And Marv, he makes 6 catches and they're unreal catches. So it's I get it. It's that eye test kind of thing. All right, let's get this recap over with, brother. We got one more little thing we're gonna do right here. We're gonna give a little bit of commentary once again for a team that just cannot figure it out, brother. They just can't figure it out, and you hate to see it. We've been a fan of these Tar Heels, man. We've been a fan of them, but they just can't get it out of their own way here.
They beat themselves up so much.
They do, man. They had a lead here, a 10-point lead at one point in. Let's see, this is the.
We're talking about the North Carolina versus Georgia Tech game.
Yes, so we're gonna go right into these highlights real quick at the end of the game. Oh, where is he going?
Cameraman needs to get another job.
Dude, you need to apply for DoorDash as Haynes King flies down the field and lands inside of the 30-yard line. What a play there by Haynes King. Faking out everybody, including the cameraman.
Handed off this time, bounce to the outside, going to the 10. Gets down at 2. Gets down inside the 3-yard line for sure.
Look at that. Look at that effort from number 4. This guy's a baller. Let's get this thing in the end zone. Haynes King, where are we going? Going outside, rolling out. I'm breaking all the rules. Throw back across the field. Oh, where's that cameraman again? Get that guy off the field. Touchdown. Let's go. Haynes King finds Brett Seither. Let's go Seither here.
Seither?
For a 5-yard tutty. And
look at the throw. Look at the catch, though. The catch is where it's at.
Haynes King, dog. Oh, Drake May, I got this. Don't worry, I'll guide us down the field. 81. This guy's a dog. Finding some open
He was
field.
out of bounds. What do you mean?
Copenhagen. Copenhagen. My fault. And then the play of all plays, Drake May, absolute laser here across the middle of the field.
All the time in the world.
Tez. Oh,
fumble.
Maybe he shouldn't have got that eligibility after all. Fumbles the play. Georgia Tech wins.
Good God. In that man's career. You know what? Maybe we shouldn't have gave you that eligibility.
Maybe
You're not worth it.
Oh, my God. He missed the field goal. He missed the field goal.
So this is still a game.
It's technically yes.
So UNC ultimately falls short to Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech, 2 big ACC wins this season. First one comes to the Miami Hurricanes. Just first off, terrible call Miami. Yes. We've already went over that in past pods.
Yes.
This one right here, funny fact, Drake May has never beat Georgia Tech in his career as a UNC Tar Heel.
It's some wild stat. Georgia Tech's beat them last 15 out of last 20 times or some crap like that.
Yeah, dude. They have that. It's just weird because Drake May, looking at being the second quarterback taken off the board in this year's draft, has not yet beat, or will never beat, since he's done after this season, will never beat Georgia Tech. And it's weird because Georgia Tech is one of those sneaky teams that sticks around. If you give that team a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel, they will sprint for it and find it. And I respect Georgia Tech for what they did. North Carolina just shot themselves in the foot this entire game. I mean, they had a 10-point lead and just couldn't get the job done when they needed it to get done the most. And Georgia Tech ultimately took advantage of all that. The fumble right there ultimately sealed it right there. I'm not going to put that on Drake May. I'm going to put that on Walker. That's his name, right?
Yes, Tez Walker.
Yeah, Tez Walker. I mean, you got to be able to hang on to the ball, brother. Got to be able to hang on to the ball. It's right there in the chest plate. You got to be able to hang on to it and go down to the ground or at least get a couple more yards. But respect to Georgia Tech for getting these big wins, especially since everybody has counted them out this season. They still have a chance to go they still have a chance to make a bowl game for sure, and not win their conference, obviously, but ultimately make a bowl game and continue to have a winning season throughout the rest of the year. Now, North Carolina, they got to do some soul searching when it comes to games like this. I mean, this is back-to-back losses now, isn't it?
Yes.
They're done with the playoffs. No more playoffs. ACC championships hopes are still alive, but when they have to, if they have to play Florida State may just absolutely skull drag them.
Yes. Oh! He missed him again, bro.
Oh my God, dude!
That one was closer to it.
You can't blame that on the concussion.
That was a touchdown, bro.
I mean, dude, this is
what
you got rid of. This is what you ran Derek Carr out of the building for this.
Derek Carr is at least could hit that, bro. That's horrible. Jimmy G's
dude, he broke him. Oh my God.
Wide open, bro. I mean, come on, dude.
Oh, Derek Carr hits that ball. Sorry.
Jimmy's so bad, bro. All right, so CDM, I'm gonna ask you this. Guess what the record, 20 out of 20 years, last 20 games they've played, guess what Georgia Tech's record is against North Carolina? 20 games.
20 games. I'm not going to say 50-50. I'm not going to say 50-50.
Okay.
I'm going to say 8-7. No. That did not add up. That did not add up.
That did not.
Math.
20 games. 20 games.
Let's see. Out of 20 games, oh, man. Because North Carolina's balled out most of the time. Not really. Okay, out of 20 times, I'm going to say 11. They've 11-9.
Not bad. That's pretty close. That's pretty close.
Was it 12-8?
Nope.
13-7.
Nope. Keep it going.
15-5?
No, why don't you skip over 14? Come on. It's
14-6?
14-6. Yes, 14.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. Yep.
North Carolina, bro, you do not deserve that. No way. You don't deserve all this hype.
They won 3 straight from 14, 15, 16, and they haven't beat them since 19. And then they beat them in 08 and 04.
They haven't beat them since 2019?
Nah, bro.
Bro, that's trash.
They got waxed in 2021, 45-22. Then last year, 21-17. And then this year, 46-42.
Yep. That was with Sam Howell, too. That was with Sam Howell at the helm.
Yep. So,
damn, that's bad.
Yeah, I would get that off of your website, North Carolina. I wouldn't keep those receipts.
Yeah, Mag Brown probably should have stayed retired, brother.
I can't say anything else besides that.
Yeah, that's it. Man, dude. Yeah. How do you just Georgia Tech is not the best team in that conference though? That's the thing.
Yeah. No, not even close.
No, not even close. I'm talking about recent history. They have not been the best team in that conference at all. They haven't been a top 5 team in the ACC.
Yeah, now they're number 4 at 4-4.
Wow. Wow.
Virginia Tech's in front of them.
So you're saying there's still a chance?
Oh my gosh, dude. Jeez.
There's still a chance to make an ACC championship.
Yes, technically they're only 3-2 in ACC play. So if they
they play Florida State?
Oh my God, I forgot who they play at the end of the year.
Never mind.
But that doesn't affect their ACC record.
Yeah, but still, it's just gonna be a whooping. I
forgot they play that game.
Oh man, yeah.
What kind of rivalry is that, bro? That's horrible.
What we're referring to is Georgia has to play Georgia Tech at the end of the season. I don't understand why. I understand it's like Alabama and Auburn. It's the Alabama teams. There's got to be a better team in Georgia, right?
Yeah. Well, it's not. You don't see LSU going out to La Tech every year,
or like Louisiana Monroe.
Southeastern.
At least with Florida, you got to play Florida State. Yeah, that's at least competitive game.
It's actually an interesting.
For Georgia Tech, Georgia Tech, at the end of every season,
just
has to get ready to play Georgia.
It's just a fat L every year, bro.
Dude, it's just like a nail in the coffin, just a bullet in the mouth. It's just not worth. Honestly, you can just have a scrimmage between Georgia and their second string. and just have that be their final game at the end of the season, because this game's not even worth it.
You're not playing Brock in that one. I'll just say that. So.
Oh God, no! You don't play Brock in that. Dear Lord, no! Like, why?
Jeez. All right, let's get off of this Georgia Tech North Carolina talk. I'm sorry, North Carolina. I've rooted for you for too long. I can't defend you anymore.
It's been hit or miss for me. It's been very hit or miss.
I understand.
I just like the quarterbacks they've been producing, but now it's just like, just nothing. But I think that will do our weekly game recap. You know, it was very exciting this week. Upsets nonstop.
Yes.
But now we get into the nitty gritty stuff. Top 6 teams, Nate. Top 6 teams. These have changed.
Yes,
These have changed.
Yes, have.
I'll start this one off if you don't mind me.
Yes, sir.
I'll start this. So I'm going to start from 6 to 1. At 6, I have the Oregon Ducks.
Okay.
Oregon Ducks coming off a big win against the Utes. So, dominant fashion as well. So I'm going to take Oregon at 6. At 5, we have the Washington Huskies.
Yep.
You never know. I'm not going to bump them out just yet. It was contemplating, but they have the win against Oregon. So ultimately at number 5, they have to start figuring out things soon before it gets too late. At number 4, got the Florida State Seminoles, baby. Got the Noles at 4, coming off a dominant win against Wake Forest. Still one of the most explosive offenses in the country right now. One of the most explosive teams. Florida State is here to stay. Yes. At number 3, you got the Ohio State Buckeyes. Still doing what they're doing, have a great resume right now. I don't agree with most people putting them at number 1 since Georgia hasn't really done anything. So Ohio State at 3. At number 2, got the Michigan Wolverines. Still doing what they're doing. Had a bye week this week. Yep. So, get a little bit extra rest before they continue the dominant streak that they're having right now. And then at number 1, got the Georgia Bulldogs. Got the Dogs at number 1, coming off a very big dominant win against Florida Gators. I thought the game was going to be close at first, but ultimately Georgia ran away with it. Yep. So that is my top 6: Georgia, Michigan, Ohio State, Florida State, Washington, and Oregon. Hopefully after this week, we can see the Alabama Crimson Tide back up in there.
This guy right here.
This guy, Roll Tide, baby, Roll Tide.
Grandma,
I know you're watching, baby. Roll Tide.
Oh, jeez. You're taking my grandma now, of course.
Hey, we share grandmas now.
These Roll Tide fans just roll together, bro. But
hey, we share grandmas.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair. That is very true. All right, let's get into mine here. Very good list. We're very similar. We got the same teams, just in a different order here. Yeah. It feels like these are the consensus top 6 teams at this point, until proven otherwise. Let's start though. Number 6, I got the Ducks. The at number 6. They are cooking, and, it feels like they've improved a lot since that Washington loss. Kind of used everything they did bad in that one and kind of used it to their advantage. Why are you throwing it to him? I'm sorry. I need Almond to get touch.
Oh, my Lord. That was 4th and 2. They really needed that.
Yeah, that's it. That's game over.
Yeah, it's game.
But, yeah, man, I got Oregon there. The Wimps are going to sit at 6 for me. Hold strong until, they got to play against Washington, and we'll see how that game rolls out. I'm expecting a massive Pac-12 championship game. Number 5, I got to bump them down. I got to bump down the Huskies here. They got to be put down a little bit after some rough games. I can't defend them much longer in that top 4 range for right now. You got some big games in front of you. If you can, win out, get some big ones. If you kind of, make them look easy, you might be getting yourself back in that top 4 before you get into the Pac-12 championship, which is very important. But yeah, I got Washington Huskies at number 5. Number 4, they might have the best resume in college football, but I'm still not fully sold. I got the Ohio State Buckeyes at number 4.
I feel that.
They are still very good, and like I said, this team is not a team that you watch and say, I need more. I need this. I need that. They're going to win how they're going to win, and they can win in many ways. And if Kyle McCord can kind of hone it back in, not get so aggressive and throwing picks and stuff and turning the ball over, this team could really make a run for this championship this year. And that's crazy to say after last year when they nearly beat the Dogs in the
that was the national championship.
That was the national championship. That semifinal game.
The national championship.
But yeah, it's crazy to even think that Ohio State's right here. Good defense, really good defense. You got Marv. You got a really good running back in Henderson. So Ohio State's got everything in front of them. Obviously, they got their biggest game of the year in front of them still. So, I mean, that's the matchup. So until that game, they're going to be sitting in this area for me. Until then, let's go to number 3 here. I got the Seminoles. I love this team. I will support them. They beat my Tigers, and it's starting to look like a good loss for the LSU Tigers. Because Florida State's very good talent everywhere. I'm not going to repeat myself like I do every other podcast. I love their talent. I love their players. I love their coach. I love their quarterback, running backs, receivers, defensive line, offensive line. They got it everywhere. They will win the ACC. Now it's about how much you win by, it feels like, to kind of keep yourself in this college football playoff. You know, you can't get caught slipping any weeks in the ACC, or you're out. One loss and you're out in the ACC, it feels like. So, yeah, number 3, Florida State. Number 2, I got the Dogs still. Big win. Still are not going to take over on the Michigan Wolverines for me here. Michigan didn't have a chance to prove themselves once again in a bye week. So this week, I want to see what happens. Because who does yeah, that's right. Who did Michigan play this week? Probably another freaking bum.
Purdue?
God, yeah, that's terrible.
Yeah, dude, they're gonna smack them.
Oh,
it's not even gonna be fair.
We'll see what happens. You know, Georgia has another big game, and I feel like if they can wax a Missouri, then they might deserve that number 1 spot next week for me. You know, beating Florida is a big win. You know, in the swamp. So I mean, I can't look can't look past that too much. But once again, this Michigan team is just the eye test. Their defense, it's everything for me. So
they're playing outstanding ball right now, but I need to see them against better competition.
100% agree.
Better competition for sure.
Yep, 100% agree. And sooner rather than later, that will be happening at the end of the season. So very excited about that game, obviously. But number 1 still those Wolverines. Number 2, the Dogs. Number 3, the Seminoles. Number 4, the Buckeyes. Number 5, the Huskies. And number 6, the Whack Ducks. All right, let's go to our Heisman Watch now, CDM, our top 5 Heisman candidates. This one's getting a little spicy. That top 3 is kind of separated himself from the rest of the pack, it feels like, and then there's everyone else. But there's still 2 guys in my top 5 I believe have everything in front of them if they keep winning and leading their teams. So I'll start us off here. You started us off.
Go ahead, brother.
The top 6. I'll start us off on our Heisman Watch at number 5. I got a tie.
Between who?
I have a tie between Jordan Travis and Bo Nix.
At 1?
At 5.
At 5. My bad. Sorry, I was like, at 1. My lord.
This is number 5. Yes, these 2 guys are playing such good ball. Jordan Travis is undefeated. Bo Nix is playing at most elite level we've ever seen him play at. One of the best players in the country, and he's playing himself into a job into the NFL. He was going to get drafted. Now we're starting to see him maybe in a first-round draft pick now, which is crazy to think about. Insanely great player. Jordan Travis is undefeated, leading that Florida State team and getting better offensively every week. So, yeah, I got a little tie there at number 5. If you ask who I nod, I'm going to give it to Jordan Travis because they're undefeated. Number 4, my guy has found a way to climb right back. Our guy has found a way to climb right back into this top 5
yes,
for us.
Yes, sir, he is.
Marvin Harrison Jr. He is the leader and best player in the country. He has plays for Ohio State, and if he is not on Ohio State, they do not win a lot of their games. That is what the Heisman's all about for me. It is your best player winning you games. This is a classic case. Will he win the award? No, he won't. He probably won't because this is a quarterback award. We've only seen it recently with Devontae Smith. And I said it, though. You need a quarterback like a Mac Jones, and no disrespect to Kyle McCord, but Kyle McCord's not the leader and guy that's putting up all these stats. The guy that is making those plays, memorable plays, and putting up all those stats is Marvin Harrison Jr. So you get a situation where, all right, you have a chance here. I mean, the stats that he has early on in the season are ridiculous for injuries as well. So, love to see it. He's on pace to eclipse all those stats he had last year. So. Number 4, Marvin Harrison Jr. Number 3, this guy is honestly the betting favorite in a lot of betting sports, but I'm not there yet. Not there yet. J.J. McCarthy. He's playing great ball and the best team in the country.
About him.
Yeah, he is a dog, man. He is a dog. He is technically the betting favorite, which is crazy for me to think about. In a lot of sports books, I don't think he's there yet. Best player, is he the best player on the best team? I don't even know if he's the best player in Michigan. But he has been playing unbelievable football, leading that team, and that's a big key here for me. He is leading.
You gotta have a
team.
Leader.
He is a leader. He might not be the best player, but he is the leader of that team, just like Marvin Harrison Jr. is the leader for Ohio State's offense. So I got to give him my respect and my love. J.J. McCarthy at number 3 for me. Number 2, Michael Penix Jr. takes a step back this week. Yep, I'm still high on him. I still respect him, and I still think he could still be the number 1 player off the draft board, even though Caleb is that guy still. But man, I mean, last couple weeks, he's looked a little human, He's looked a little human. So you got to knock him down a little bit, Is this team the same without him? No. And that's why he's number 2. But they're not winning games right now because of him. And so you got to knock him a little bit. Number 1 is the guy that is the only reason this team is winning. We've said it past pods, and I'm not going to keep repeating myself. Number 1 has all the stats in the world. He has the eye test. He's going to get drafted this year, and he is leading and is the best player on this team. Jaden Daniels for LSU is number 1 in my Heisman Watch. I mean, there's not much else to say that he's the guy. And for people even to have him in top 3 with 2 losses is insane. In the SEC, first of all, if this guy somehow, wins the SEC, I mean, it's without a doubt he's winning the Heisman. So everything's in front of LSU. If he does what he's doing and they keep winning, he's going to win the Heisman. Now it's about, beating the Alabamas, the Georgias, and somehow getting into that top 4 with 2 losses. It's a tough task, but not impossible in the SEC.
Almost did it last year. Almost. I like your Heisman picks, man. I do.
Thank you. I really appreciate that, CDM.
Here we go with mine. At number 5, I have our guy.
Yes.
I have Marvin Harrison Jr. at 5. Man's been balling out these past 4 games. He's averaged over 130 yards plus and over double-digit receptions as well, with at least 1 or 2 touchdowns a game. These past 4 games, dude's been balling. So I'm gonna put Marvin Harrison back up there. At number 4, I got Bo Nix. Once again, a very prolific quarterback right now. Once again, 87 to 80% completion against opponents. Only has 1 interception on the year. So, 21 touchdowns. Dude's balling.
Jeez,
so, you got to put
only
one interception, and that was against.
So accurate, man.
Jeez. Dude, that was it was against Washington. Yeah. That's where he's only pick that he threw. So, at 4, I got Bo Nix. At 3, I have Jordan Travis. Okay. You can't help but have him up there, dude. Dude's balling out. Florida State's balling out right now. He is one of the key factors in that offense, putting it all together, putting the ball where it needs to be. So I have him at 3. At 2, I'm going to follow you right there. Michael Penix Jr. at 2. Has not been playing great these past 2 weeks. Needs to start picking it up more if he wants to still be a legit threat for the Heisman and for the playoffs as well. I don't think he's hurting his draft stock right now. I think his draft stock's perfectly fine. I think that he's the second best quarterback. Drake May is kind of losing that spot slowly but surely.
Yes.
But Michael Penix at 2, and then number 1, as we've said, not going to repeat myself as you did. Without him, this team would be nothing. Jaden Daniels, he's literally got not almost identical, but his stats are looking like Joe Burrow's stats from 2019. He is just playing that good until this Saturday. But, we will find out for sure. But Jaden Daniels right now is sitting at the top of the list for the Heisman Watch. So that's mine. Jaden Daniels, Michael Penix, Jordan Travis, Bo Nix, and Marvin Harrison, the skill player, at 5.
I love it. Hey. Great list. We're doing so good right now, man.
We're doing really good. I think we're doing fine.
Oh, I got my Lakers I'm about to put on real quick. But this Heisman Watch is getting tight, man. And I respect you putting Jordan Travis in that top 3, man. I really do, because
dude's been balling now. At one point, Florida State was looking like Washington is right now, vulnerable.
Yeah.
But now they are starting to pick it up. They are starting to look more dominant the more games they play, and he's just putting the ball where it needs to be and making plays, man. I think it was after the Clemson game where they really woke up and was like, "Hey, we have to go a step above our game that we are playing right now."
Yep. All right, brother. Heisman Watch is down. Let's get into these playoff predictions. Are updated playoff predictions, as of course.
I actually changed mine this time.
I was about to say, all right.
I actually changed mine this time, so we're good.
Let's see it. What do you got? You got some movement?
At 4, I have Seminoles at 4. There's no way that Florida State cannot make the playoffs now. Yeah. They're the best team in the ACC. There's no way that they cannot go into this ACC championship and not screw up their hopes at making a playoff run. They can't. So at 4, I got Florida State. At 3, I have the Huskies. I have Washington at 3. I still think if they can pick it up with this limited time that they have coming right now, that they can still be a threat. Just depending on what happens in the Pac-12 championship. At 2, I have Georgia. I think Georgia wins the SEC, depending on what happens, depending on who they play in the SEC championship. 1-loss Bama or 2-loss LSU. I think either way, they still make the playoffs, but at the 2 seed. And then at number 1, I have the Wolverines. I've had them at number 1 for a while for the playoffs. I still think that they can become the number 1 seed. It'd be weird to see them as the number 1 seed. Yeah, but that's what I have. I have Michigan at 1, Georgia at 2, Washington at 3, and Florida State at 4. Can you imagine a Florida State versus Michigan rematch?
Oh, dude.
Last time they played was in the Orange Bowl.
Oh my gosh, that's right.
Yeah, and Florida State won that game.
Oh man.
And that was with like Dalvin Cook and everybody. So it would be nice to see that. A Washington versus Georgia. Oh my gosh. Just imagine the offensive powerhouse against a dominant defense.
That would be such a fun game. Hell, even Georgia versus Washington would be kind of interesting to see.
Oh yeah, dude.
But yeah, very similar. All the same teams, different order. Pretty much it's all the same except at the bottom here. I'll just go right through them. Number 4 for me is Washington. Winning the Pac-12 is impressive and more impressive than winning the ACC, but I don't think they do it in as nice fashion, and I think the committee will see that, and they'll also see Florida State's win against LSU. They might just hold that to the same regard as an Oregon win for Washington. Number 3, Florida State. The Seminoles are sitting right there. I like them. I'm not going to keep harping on that. They are who they are, and I like them.
Yeah.
And they got a big one against LSU, and they will get some. I think they'll, without a doubt, handle their business and not slip up in the way, and probably will beat the crap out of these teams. So they'll be riding real high into this playoff, in my opinion. Number 2, the Georgia Bulldogs scrape by whoever they play in the SEC championship, because we're going to find out this weekend. Whoever they play, I think they scrape by, and that's going to knock them down just a little bit. A win's a win. They're going to be undefeated, but that's going to knock them just enough for this team, that number 1, to get that number 1 spot. Michigan will hold strong at number 1 for me. They will beat Ohio State. They will win the Big Ten, and in easy fashion. I don't even know if the Ohio State game is going to be good, but maybe not. Maybe not. We shall see. All right, brother. That'll do it for our playoff predictions. Another great pod.
Very, very nice, sir. Very, very nice.
Yes, indeed. And now we get into our game picks this week. CDM currently holds a 2-game lead now on me after his correct prediction on the Oregon Ducks over the Utes. Now, your boy is down 2 games on him. I am sitting at 30-23. He is sitting at 32-21. CDM, how you feeling about your lead right now?
Brother, it's going to continue through this week. What do you mean, man? I'm going to win. I'm going to win this season. I'm feeling confident. Hey, man, Colorado still helps me out week 1. That Colorado win against TCU helps me out week 1.
It does.
It's crazy that week 1 was that long ago, though.
It's flying by.
Makes me so sad. Dude.
LSU and Alabama is this week, bro. That's crazy.
I know, dude. I just like, why?
It's like,
why?
We're halfway through the year, man. All right, let's get into these picks. Let's see what we're looking at, CDM, for our games. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see these games. Obviously, we will.
Hold up, I'm moving just a second. I'll turn my camera off.
We're back.
Okay.
Yes.
Just let everybody know CDM will have a better setup coming in with the next couple of weeks. I will have my own desk. I will have a better camera as well, so we will not have to worry about taking breaks the next couple of times. But continue what you were saying, sir.
Hey, all good, brother. We're getting there. We're already adding extra content. Once we get that, we're going to be elite. But let's get into these game picks. Like I said on YouTube, you can see our game picks. Obviously, if you're listening, we will walk you through what these games are looking like. Let's see what we're seeing here, brother, in our game picks this week. It's week 10 games. Look at this beautiful graphic.
That is gorgeous.
Courtesy of your boy, Nate Dogg. But obviously, CDM is right there. Let's go. Hey, let's go with these games, man. We got a massive first game in Texas A&M traveling to Ole Miss. Ole Miss is a 4-point favorite. Over-under is at 54 currently. They do not have the money line on that over-under, so currently we're just sitting at minus 110 for all these over-unders. So, CDM, start us off here. You got the Aggies or the Rebels?
I got the Rebs, just because their offense has just been so explosive these past couple of games. Even though Auburn did give them a little run for their money, Auburn did stay in that game, and Auburn has not looked the best. But Texas A&M is also a team that will give you the biggest run for your money. I know Auburn kind of held Ole Miss to only 28 points, but I think Ole Miss and Texas A&M match each other up evenly when it comes to defensive play. And not really offense, but mostly on the defensive side of the ball. I think Texas A&M can give Ole Miss a run for their money. But ultimately, the Rebels will come out on top. I have the Rebels winning 31-28, a close game.
All right. Yes, sir. Yeah, that Ole Miss-Auburn game kind of stirred me away on this one. I had Ole Miss going into this week until I saw that game, and I'm switching up. I'm going Aggies here.
I don't blame you right there, honestly. I really don't.
This one feels like an Aggies win where they can kind of stir the pot in the SEC when it comes to the SEC West, kind of shift some narratives, shift some possibilities. If Ole Miss does lose this game, they will no longer have that tiebreaker on LSU if LSU were to beat Alabama. But, yeah, it's a massive game for LSU fans, and obviously this is slightly a homer pick. But I do believe that A&M is a bad matchup for Ole Miss. Great defensive line, great defense. If they slow down that run
great
game,
pass rushers, dude.
Yeah.
They have pass rushers everywhere.
If they slow down the run game and get to the quarterback, and do their thing against Dart, not let him escape and run all over you, Texas A&M has a really good opportunity. Can they put enough points up? I think they do. Give me the Aggies 26-24.
I like that.
Yes,
I like
sir.
that.
All right.
Going into this next game, Kansas State at the Texas Longhorns. Texas Longhorns' second game without Quentin Ewers. Malik Murphy makes his second start as a Texas Longhorn. Had a good game last game. Little, got to buff out, got to round the edges out a little bit. When it comes to his play because he's new. Didn't know this kid was a 6'5". Didn't know this dude was an absolute unit of a man. But, Texas comes in as 5.5-point favorites. It's going to be a good game, but I'm going to take Kansas State in this one.
Okay.
I like an upset. I want to see an upset in Austin. I need some revenge. I need a little bit more revenge from what they did to my Tide in week 2. Oklahoma already put that there for me, but this would be the cherry on top of the cake if Kansas State can get it done. I taking Kansas State 35-31. It's going to be a game, dude. It's going to be a game. Only reason I think that is because Kansas State has the veteran quarterback taking snaps now, rather than, Malik Murphy making his second college debut against a tough opponent. It's going to be a big game, so we'll have to see what happens. But I think Kansas State can go into go into Austin and get it done for sure.
Hey, man. All right, I hear you, man, and I like your upset pick here. And I'm going to agree with you on this one.
Yes, sir.
No Quinn Ewers, like we said, and that's a big thing for me. Malik is still a good player, but he is not Quinn Ewers. Kansas State's riding high right now, too. And I think this is just a bad week to catch a Kansas State if you're Texas. You look at it, all right, Kansas State last year, what they did, they were it was so fun to see them do what they did last year. And coming into this season, it's not
beat
the same.
TCU last year.
Yeah, and it's not the same. And when it comes into this year, now you had a weird start. You start undefeated, you lose to Missouri on a game winner, absolute amazing kick to win it, and then you get a dub, and then you lose to Oklahoma State. So it's like, all right, what kind of team are we? We were right in the middle of this thing.
Yeah.
We lose to Oklahoma State. Now they rattled off 3 massive wins. Texas Tech 38-21, TCU 41-3, and then Houston 41-0. And we saw Houston with Quinn. That was a good game. So
yeah,
give me the Kansas State Wildcats. And wild guess here, I don't think it's even close. I got not an absolute beatdown. I'm going 10.
Okay, I was about to say, dang, you got them shutting them out?
Yeah, 50-0. No, I think we see an interesting game early on, but Kansas State's offense is going to figure it out. With 40, they're averaging 40 points over these last few weeks. I'm going high here, going 38-24. Give me that 14-point game. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I like that. I like that pick. Sticking into the Big 12 so far. Sticking in the Big 12, got Oklahoma coming off a big upset loss against Kansas. Got to stay. They're coming back home to play Oklahoma State. Big in-state rivalry. Got you right there.
Mm-hmm.
This has got to be a big game for Oklahoma. This has got to be a bounce back game. You got to dominate. You got to make it. You got to make a statement again. But you're not. You're not going to make it a statement. You're not going to blow them out. But you are going to win. They are going to win this game. They have to win this game.
Yes.
I have Oklahoma winning. I have Oklahoma winning 41-38. Okay. They're going to take it down to the absolute wire. Oklahoma's going to get the ball. Dylan Gabriel's going to do what he does, drive him downfield, get him in a field goal range. Game-winning field goal right there.
All right. Hey, I like that. And I would have to agree with you with the victor in this one. Oklahoma, like you said, they have to win this game. This is a massive game. Oklahoma State's got some good wins this year. Just quietly good wins this year.
Oh, yeah, dude, for sure. What's their record?
They are hang on, that was wrong. Yeah, they're 6-2. The hard thing is their losses. Like they go, all right, here you go. You know, you beat a good Cincinnati team. Not bad. They're not terrible. You beat a pretty good West Virginia team. You beat a Kansas. You beat a Kansas State. You know, like, and then you lose to South Alabama and Iowa State.
They lost to South Alabama?
Pretty bad, too. 33-7.
How? 33-7?
Yeah.
Dude, when was this game?
That was week 3.
Dude, no. What?
Yep. Very
33. You got shut. Dude, that is like
it's such an interesting team, man, you know? Very interesting team. They kind of struggled with Central Arkansas to start the season off. They struggled-ish against Arizona State. You know, they're double-digit wins, but they're not pretty wins. And then you lose bad to South Alabama, and then Iowa State catches you the next week. And then you rattle off 4 straight wins. They've got some good wins in that stretch. They're so interesting. I don't know how to feel about this team at all.
They sound inconsistent.
They do, but they've got 4 straight wins, so it feels like maybe they're putting something together, but not enough. Not enough for this Oklahoma
You said they
team.
beat Kansas?
Yep.
So
Kansas and Kansas State.
Wow. So if they win this game, and they beat Kansas already, so they would have a better chance at making a Big 12 championship than Oklahoma would.
Yes. If they win this game, they will jump Oklahoma.
That's insane.
Yep.
God, that would be insane to see.
Yep.
I kind of hope it happens now. Like, I have Oklahoma winning, but it would be insane to see another upset win.
You want to know something even crazier? If Oklahoma State and Kansas State win, they would be number 1 and 2 in the Big 12.
That's disgusting.
These are massive games. Massive games, man.
Remember last year when TCU was the best team in the Big 12?
Yeah, bro, they are not anymore.
No, they're dog water.
No, they're not the same. No.
Nope.
But yeah.
And now we
Hang on,
go
no,
into.
I didn't give my. I don't think I gave my.
Oh, my bad. So sorry.
No, you're good. I was choked up and I kind of stopped talking. No. Oklahoma wins this one, 34-30. I still got Oklahoma State covering though. They got to get that cover. That 6 points.
I think they cover for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, you got the cover. I got the cover in this one. So all right.
But now we move over to the great state of California, where the Washington Huskies will travel to take on Caleb Williams and the USC Trojans. Guess what? Washington's winning. Washington's going to beat this team. Washington's going to expose this defense again. Not even going to go into – they're not worth my time talking about that trash defense.
Okay.
Washington wins the game. It's going to be high scoring. They're going – I have them over 76 points.
Okay.
I got Washington winning 45-34. to 41.
Yep, you do have that over. All right.
It's going to be explosive. It's going to be an offensive powerhouse. I don't think defenses are going to show up right here. I think it's just going to be pure dominant offenses. And I think Washington ultimately can get it done. This is where it solidifies. This is the game that solidifies who ultimately is the best quarterback in the country. Is it going to be Michael Penix or is it going to be Caleb Williams? And I want to throw Jaden Daniels in there. Obviously, Bama this weekend will prove if he's going to be the best quarterback as well. But for Pac-12 standards, who's going to be the best in the Pac-12 ultimately? And I think Michael Penix is going to show up and show out and get the job done.
All right, yeah, hey, I like it. I love it. All right, hey, over under was at 76.5. You went over it. I respect your moxie, your grit on that pick there. Yeah, it's going to be a massive game, massive scoring. I think Washington's defense buckles in just enough to get this win, and the offense just absolutely cooks. I don't think they're going to stop them to a field goal. I think it's going to be all touchdowns here for Washington. Give me the Huskies covering as well. You had the push. What did you have, 45-41?
I had 45-41, yeah.
Okay, you got a little push there. All right, I like the action there. I got Washington winning, covering 42-34. All right.
Ooh, 8-point game.
Yes, got a nice little dub.
I like that.
A nice little dub for him. So, all right, let's keep this thing rolling, brother.
Keep it rocking and rolling. We jump into the SEC. Got Mizzou, the 6-1 Missouri Tigers, who have just not really has surprised everybody, has really just outdone expectations of what everybody expected them to be. They traveled to Athens to take on the defending Georgia Bulldogs, and Georgia's going to beat them. Georgia's going to beat them. Sorry to say it.
What a setup. What a setup just to put them down.
Just to put them, just nail in the coffin right there. Just nail that coffin. Yeah. I think Missouri has the best chances besides Tennessee to give them the best game in the East. Brady Cook's been playing good ball right now. The offense is really good. It's just the defense has the biggest question marks around it. Are they going to be able to stop Carson Beck and what this offense can do? I have Georgia winning 45-28.
Wow, 45-28. All right, so you got Georgia scoring. Got some scoring in this one. All right.
Honestly, if they don't score, if they don't like continuously score, they're going to leave Missouri in this game, and you don't want to leave Missouri in this game. You, as an LSU fan, when y'all played them this past couple weeks, you knew what was happening. Yep. If you keep them in this game, they're going to continuously score, and their offense is sneaky good. Their offense is very sneaky.
Yes, it is, and I like their team. They got a good squad, good coaching. They got some holes, obviously, defensively still, but I think Georgia will expose them. But no, I'm just kidding. Georgia's going to win.
I was about to say, good Lord, do not take Missouri.
I'm just kidding. No, I can't do that again. I'm not picking against Georgia, even though this one's got it written all over it. 16.5. Come on, that's bull.
That is bold. That is very bold.
Come on now. That's so many points, but I'm not going to go that crazy. I do have Georgia winning this one. I got the Missouri cover here. Amazing game, though. We're going to get a good game. It's going to be close late, but Georgia hits maybe a late field goal to kind of make it a 2-score game and ends it all for good and kind of makes it stop late. So give me the Georgia Bulldogs 34-24 in this one.
Okay. Got you right there.
A little 10 points. That's more reasonable than 16.5. Like, good gosh. They're going to win by 50 now, so.
Good Lord, they're going to just blow on. It's going to be a shutout now. It's going to be like 60-0.
That's it. It's over.
But now we move on. Possibly. Game, I've said it all season long. This right here is leading up to be game of the year. It's going to be an outstanding game. Classic between two just behemoths of teams. Two teams that are still riding high on wins right now. We have my Alabama Crimson Tide versus Nate Dogg's LSU Tigers. Now, it's not in Death Valley this year. They have to travel to Tuscaloosa to get the job done. But ultimately, the Tide will continue to roll and get revenge. We had our revenge game against Tennessee, and now we go back to get another revenge game from last season, the second team we lost to LSU. It's going to be a game. It's not going to be what everybody's thinking. It's not going to be high scoring, in my opinion. I think it's going to be just a pure, just who wants the game more, who wants to win this game, who really wants to go forward into making an SEC championship appearance. And ultimately, I'm going to pick my Alabama Crimson Tide. It's going to be a dominant defense versus one of the most, if not the most explosive offense in college football. And I've been reading reports from Alabama insiders on Twitter. Practices have been good this week for Alabama. It's been, not trying to it's not really hard to try and mimic Jaden Daniels in this offense on scout team, just because Jalen Milroe can do, not in the passing game, but in the run game for sure. Jalen Milroe is there to really show what Jaden Daniels does outside of the pocket besides throwing it. Jaden Daniels is a very lethal runner. Besides his passing ability, if you get him outside of the pocket and give him space, he will ultimately take it and run with it. So I expect this game to be going down to the wire. I expect it to be just an all-time classic, like how it usually should be. Last year's game was probably one of the best Alabama LSU games I've seen so far. It was 15-17 last year, right, Nate? I think that was the score LSU ultimately won. But
no,
this year's going to be different.
I think 38-31, yeah, something like that.
I think it was something like that. But I think Alabama's riding high right now. We're on a really big win streak. Our team is slowly but surely.
Sorry, 32-31.
Oh, yes. See, that was a game. That's such a classic game. That two-point conversion at the end was sealed the game for sure. And Jaden Daniels taking the game into his own hands and making plays. Respect to Jaden Daniels, what he's done for this team. But Alabama's offense is slowly but surely coming together. The one thing I don't need Alabama to do, I need Alabama to be a full 60-minute football team. I don't need one half of just greatness and the other half being absolute garbage. It happened against Arkansas when we took a 21-3 lead and then ultimately won 24-21, but we let them come back in the second half. This previous game that we had against Tennessee, we got 20-7 at halftime. In the second half came out. Alabama was on fire, caught lightning in a bottle. We ended up winning 34-20. So, I think it's going to be a game, but I'm going to ultimately take the Alabama Crimson Tide winning with a score of 31-27. Not a blowout, not a real defensive battle, but it's going to be an all-time classic.
Oh, my God. How did this get
my God. Get that garbage out of here.
How did this happen? It just changed colors. Oh, my God. Look at this.
That's funny.
Yes, I had to do that to you. Sorry, CDM. But
it's okay, brother. It's okay.
We're representing the LSU shirt here. I was wearing a Saint shirt, and all of a sudden it just turned gold when we started talking about this. I don't know how that happened, but I think
no.
That must be an omen that the LSU Tigers are beaten down on the Tide this week.
Beaten down, huh?
Yes.
Beaten down?
You heard me. What did I stutter? Did I stutter, man?
Stutter? Yeah, Yeah, just wait.
By the way,
when I hear the elephant go off in Bryant-Denny this year, I can't wait.
These lines did move a lot, so these lines on screen might not be exactly accurate, but right now the LSU-Alabama spread did drop heavily. Alabama is now only a 3-point favorite.
Okay, I expected it to drop. 4.5 was just weird.
4.5 this morning, 3 this afternoon. So it feels like the money is shifting super hard on LSU. A lot of people might be saying, all right, hey, easy now on this spread. I wouldn't be surprised if this is a kind of a pick 'em at game day when it comes to maybe a 2-point spread due to home field advantage for Alabama. So it feels like everyone knows that this is an amazing game. Everyone knows what this game is going to be. There's no doubt that this has game of the year potential, just like last year's game, and the stakes are as high as ever. Whoever wins this pretty much is going to the SEC championship game if they don't stumble along the way. All the stakes are on. All the chips are on black. This is the moment of these two teams' seasons. LSU's had some slip ups. Alabama had a slip up early on though, so now they can rewrite their wrongs and get right where they want to be and possibly still have a chance in that college football playoff. Obviously, there's a tall task in that championship game. Most likely, they'll be playing the Bulldogs, but anything's possible. First things first, you got to get through. Either one of these teams got to get through each other. And I got LSU holding on strong here in an amazing amazing football game, first of all. It's going to be awesome.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be electric.
It's going to be incredible. I think Alabama really shows what kind of offense they can possibly have with Milroe. I think we see a lot of running with Milroe.
God,
not a lot, but like moments, just big moments for Milroe where he's going to get out of the pocket, run up the middle or something, make some plays with his legs. I wouldn't be surprised if he eclipsed about 70 rushing yards in this one. Something around 70, 75 rushing yards.
Good Lord.
Give me 200 passing yards. I think he's gonna have a pretty good day, and I think the offense for Alabama is gonna look really good. But it's gonna become a shootout, and that's just a bad recipe for Alabama. Not a lot of teams can go shootout with LSU, and I don't believe they will be able to, even with all that skill on offense for Alabama. Give me LSU Tigers in a masterful football game, college football personified, 38-34.
Ooh.
Yep.
Ooh, man, if I have to have a heart attack game like this, like last year, dude, I don't know if my anxiety could take it. Like, I'm going to have to take so many pre-anxiety meds just to get ready for this game because it's this is like the best. Like, ultimately, this is the best game of the year.
Yes.
There's so many other games that have been like so many other games this year that have just been like, oh man, yeah, this is the game of the year written all over it. This right here always has been game of the year. This is what college football is all about. These two historic teams, these two teams that battle each other every year that they play. It's all, this is what college football is all about. And I think that it's going to live up to the hype for sure. And it's going to show that, first off, that Alabama's not going to lay down. LSU's not going to lay down either. As you said, the stakes are very high. Wishing a great game between both teams. Hope each player is safe and sound. But you got to go with your team. I got to go with my team. Yes. Obviously, me and Nathan will not be around on Saturday to watch this game with each other. No, we will not. But, we will be within spirit. We'll text each other like, you suck, roll tide, and hold this L for me, because that's what we're going to be. That's what you're going to be holding this Saturday. It's going to be okay.
What's that saying the fans say in the crowd, Carson? Suck that. What is it? I forget what it's called.
I don't know, Nathan. This is your podcast. You say it.
I can't remember what it's called, but I'm pretty sure that's what y'all will be doing after the game, Carson.
You ever heard Yeah. Oh, man. No. I didn't say that. I was going to say Dixie Darling. I think that's saying Dixieland. I think that's what it's called that we sing there in Alabama. That's what we'll be hearing. This is what we'll be hearing. That's what we'll be hearing. That and the elephant, the amazing elephant that we have in our beautiful stadium, loudest stadium in college football right now. Okay, maybe not the loudest, but one of the best environments in college football for sure.
I'll give you that.
It's going to be a game for sure. It's going to be it's going to be the best game of the year. I don't care what anybody says. Yes. No other team, no other game this season is going to compare to what the history about this game is all about. There's so much history about it. You can take the 2019 game where each team went back and forth, score for score. You can take last year's, for example, previous games before, back in 2010, the game of the century. And I think this game is going to be the game of the decade.
Yes.
I think it has that. It has it written all over it to be the best. Plus, I can't have Brian Kelly go 2-0 against Nick Saban as an LSU Tiger. I can't have that. Can't have that.
The Saban killer. Is that what we're going to be calling the Saban killer?
So can I call Lane Kiffin the Kelly killer?
Fair enough.
Okay, there we go. There we go.
Fair enough. They got us this year.
It's okay. You can call Steve No, you can't. You really can't call Steve that.
No, you can't. Yeah.
Listen. Nick Saban has never lost back-to-back games. Except at LSU. Except at LSU. He did.
He did. He lost to Ole Miss at Bama back-to-back, and he lost to LSU back-to-back.
We choose to forget the Ole Miss losses.
Hey, it's only happened like 3 or 4 times.
I think it's only happened 3 times. I'm talking about, like, in SEC play, it's probably only happened 3 times, twice maybe, with Ole Miss and Florida when he was at LSU.
LSU got him twice too, so it's been 3 times that's happened in SEC play. And guess what? It's going to be.
It takes a lot to beat the same team twice back to back, but we'll find out this Saturday. Get
ready for that 4th one, baby. Let's go.
Just get ready. Hey, just get ready to text me Roll Tide, okay? Get ready to text me Roll Tide.
The Smack Tart starts today. It starts today, brother. All right.
Starts today. Okay. I got you. Come Saturday. We'll see what happens. Nah, man, it's gonna be such a good game.
It's gonna be an amazing.
Oh,
game.
I can't wait for it. This is the game that I ultimately wait to watch at the beginning of the year. Besides the Iron Bowl, love the Iron Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I think we should just I think we should exit this with one last little tidbit here.
If you played the LSU fight song, I'd kill you. I can't even play the Alabama fight song. That sucks. It's okay. You'll be hearing it on Saturday. But I think that will wrap up episode 10 of College Kings.
I think it's a great way to end the pod.
I think it's a great way to end the podcast for sure. Man, great time on this podcast, obviously. Great week of games. We have a great slate. Hey, this coming up week, we have a better slate of games than we did last week. Last week was just upset week for a lot of teams. This week is just like where it gets down to the nitty-gritty.
Yes.
Gets down to the nitty-gritty. But, man, always a pleasure and always an honor, sir.
Yes, as always, my man. Another great pod of College Kings. Go down there. You've seen it all pod. You could follow. Where is it? Right there. You can follow all those accounts and for all of our amazing content. Right there. Yeah, it's incredible. It's incredible. You go out there, follow, and you can see everything. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Go find this video because we did some awesome things. And listening, it might be a little confusing. Watching it, you'll know exactly what we're talking about. Picture.
Nate Dogg Productions on YouTube, baby. Go look it up. Go subscribe. Go like. We would love it.
Yes.
Always putting out content for y'all.
Yes, as always. We love doing it, and we're doing it until we don't love doing it. All right. Thank y'all once again. College Kings, episode 10.
Thank you,
sir.
We are
out. Peace.
Deuces.